Hello everyone and welcome to episode 40 of Passion Project, the speedrun and gaming variety show that encourages anyone and everyone in the speedrun and competitive gaming communities to showcase their passions in games. My name is Amber Cyprin, I'll be your host tonight, and if you've got a passion project of your own, go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix, find the How section near the top of the page, and click the link to submit it to the show, whether that's grinding speedruns, learning and routing new categories, or breathing new life into a game in unconventional ways like you'll see today. Passion Project is the best place on Twitch to show the world what you love the most in speedrunning and gaming. Before we get started with the showcase that we have planned for tonight, I do just want to remind you that Summer Games Done Quick 2025 will be live in Minneapolis from July 6th through the 13th, and if you would like to volunteer or run at the event, submit your applications by March 31st, or register to attend the event by May 26th. Use !SGDQ in Twitch chat or visit GamesDoneQuick.com for more information on that. And you can also join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role to yourself, where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. Use !Discord in the Twitch chat for more information. So, tonight on Passion Project, I'm joined by the incredible Bubsia and his wonderful commentator Blobfish Times, and we're going to be demonstrating that yes, you can beat the 70-star category of Mario 64 while wearing a blindfold. And don't worry, that isn't all the Mario that we've got planned for you tonight, because after that we've got Supersonic, showing off the warpless category for Super Mario Bros. 3, which is a personal favorite of mine, so be sure to stay tuned. That being said, Bubsy, Blobfish, thank you both for being here with me tonight. How are you doing?
Yeah, hello. Thank you for having us. We're gonna showcase Blindfolded 70 Star today, as you already introduced. Blindfolded 70 Star is a project that I've been doing since a long time now. I just very recently got a very, very good world record that I'm satisfied with, and yeah, I've been doing Blindfolded speedruns since like 8 years of this game. So I'm very happy to be able to showcase it here, and I will not really speak during the run because I need to focus on audio and stuff, you know, the usual. So I have Blobfish Times here with me, my commentator, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Blobfish Times. I haven't done much Blindfolded in terms of full game runs, but I've done Blindfolded on and off for the past few years. I think I have a single star record or two. I know a lot about how Blindfolded works and Mario 64 in general, so I should be a pretty good commentator for this.
Awesome. And yeah, then I guess we can go ahead, do a countdown, and kind of just start, because the run is rather lengthy, so yeah, let's do it. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Alright, so as has been said multiple times, this is a 70-star category. What that means is it's basically the intended any percent category. You can't skip any of the star doors, can't skip the endless stairs. So no backwards long jumps or BLJs, no MIPS clip. You have to go through the game as intended. And also, you cannot do any backwards long jumps in any of the stars as well. You can not just limited to not skipping the star doors. The big star where this is applicable is navigating the toxic maze. This isn't usually used in Blindfolded, but I know another runner, Nico, does go for it, but Bubsia cannot use it here. So first, we're going to see the already immediately first trick of the run, Lakitu skip, and actually with a setup found by a very legendary runner, Nobody. You can see if you go on the very edge of that bridge, you do not talk to Lakitu. And now, going into Bomb Battlefield. And then I think now immediately another fancy glitch is bomb clip. If you if you throw the bomb, then grab it as it explodes. It's actually the hitbox is actually that big. Oh, grab the bomb. Can he get it? Yeah. I don't think he's gonna be getting it. Yeah. But usually you could throw that to actually clip through the gate. It saves a lot of time, especially in Blindfolded. But now you can see we're doing a backup setup to get the pole using the fix cam. Ooh, slight mistake. I think he's just gonna. I'll pause exit. Really. Yeah. So you guys, you see already immediately becoming very apparent. You can't just know how to do every star. You have to know all the backups too, and that's part of what makes what Bubsy does so impressive, is that he doesn't just know how to do the stars. He knows how to do every backup for every mistake. And sometimes, of course, though, it just doesn't work out, and he has to like pause exit. See here, that's bomb clip. Missed the immediate star grab, but backup. There's the backups, even the little ones like that star grab, are everywhere in the run. Bubsy knows pretty much all the backups. Like he said, he's been doing this for like 8 years now. He's literally been here since day one. He did the first speed run of the game, 16 star, in I think like 3 hours. And obviously and now what's crazy is now 16 star is only 19 minutes long. It's like 19 minutes or 45 seconds or so.
That's absurd.
So yeah, and it's crazy. Now I think so. He's finished with the 70 star grind. Now he's going to be moving on to going back to 120 star, because he's also done 120 star, and he's actually, after 120, sometime after that, he might go for a sub 19 in 16 star. And the crazy thing is also, he's gotten, oh yeah, so someone in chat said it's a 1943, not 45. Yeah, so like, it's crazy. He's actually a couple times at least been on almost sub 19 pace for 16 star already. So, but then he's going, when he eventually gets to 16 star again after doing 70 star and 120 and maybe other stuff, he's going to be even better at the game. So it'll be really interesting to see that.
Yeah, we were just talking beforehand about how if you go back even 3 years and look at what he used to play like, it's so different now.
Yeah, it really is. He's really, what happened, so after 120 star, when he did 120 star, which was a crazy run, 11 hours, 22 minutes, which, no breaks either. No breaks, did not take the blindfold off once. So after that, it's crazy, it was 3 years ago now. After that, he got much better at routing and did 16 star. But then with 16 star, I mean, look at that. He just did one of the 16. Had to get consistent with them. Like, you can see like that crazy triple jump off the cinema. But that was perfect. Instant star grab. You can see like that strat, triple jumping off the Womp enemy, like that's a strat that was used in 16 star. I think another runner, Handyman, found it. And like, he could just use the pole and it's not too much slower, but even in 70 star and probably 120 star, he uses those faster strategies. So it'll be interesting to see what 120 will look like. Already, the 70 star record, I think it was like a 1 hour 31 minutes or something before he went back to get the record. Well, he got the record a while ago, but recently started grinding it again, and now it's a 1 hour 16 minute time. So
that cannon list, by the way, was so satisfying to watch.
Yeah, I don't even notice it because I'm just so used to it. Yeah, that's kind of actually very similar to the original cannon list setup, the full sock folder setup. You used to go into that corner. Oh, can you get the backup? No. But you can see backup. He knows exactly how to get into that corner. And speaking of corners, that's actually a very important blindfolded technique called normalization. And normalization, in this case, it's normalized positioning. It's kind of like a checkpoint, because if you're just doing movement normally, like, it's not totally consistent. You're gonna be off a little bit in your exact position once you do a big sequence of movement. But if you can find something like a corner or a pole or something where you can get a consistent position, now you know exactly where you are. and you can do another string of movement or another setup after, and without having to worry about things being a little different. It'll be exactly the same every time at the start of the setup if you find something like a corner. So that's one of the most important blindfolded strategies. And now I think we're going to see a very cool strategy. So something that you might not know is that when you touch the owl and you grab him, you actually conserve your speed. So you can just do this. Fly into the star. It's actually, there's a way to do it that's actually faster visually than using the owl, or that's fast, almost as fast as doing owlless. It's really cool. It's the full version where you actually don't grab the tree is a little harder and probably not viable for blindfolded, but Bubsia does that version, and it's really cool. So he shook his head. I don't know. It was a bit of a sketchy entry. No. Oh, this is another cool strategy. This strategy, the slide kick, you can always roll out of a slide kick. And you see here, you can do that. Because usually that's not the usual strategy used in visual speedruns, but it's a really much easier way if you know how to do it, to use that slide kick to slide off, get into a butt slide, and skip most of the slide. Which actually, fun fact about that strategy, it was actually found in 1996. There was some like promotional video that actually showed it being used to get a sub 13 time on the slide. It's really weird. It's some obscure thing. It was actually found in 1996. And now we're getting to another really hard star, Dark World Reds. This star used to be like 5 minutes, and then with the 16 star grind, it got down to closer to like a minute flat. So it's crazy to see this star has just gone through such a transformation since 120 star, and now it's consistent enough to use in the 70 star. And you can see normalizing his position on the crystal. You see all over, like touching walls, getting into corners, all that stuff to normalize his position. You see also using an interesting route, different than the visual speedrun. Ooh, this might be tricky to back up. Oh, it's the ledge grab.
Very good backup there.
Yeah.
Not only in Blindfolded, but in speedrunning in general, one thing I always mention to people is to know your backups, especially if you want to be a showcase runner. Learning your backups is so huge for consistency's sake.
Yeah, and especially with Blindfolded, because in visual speedruns, you can make up like a sketchy backup that works well enough, but Blindfolded, if you don't know how to back it up, you just have to exit the level. Like, sometimes you can kind of make something work, but even if you do make something work just on the fly, it'll often be pretty slow. So you really have to memorize all the backups if you want to not only be able to back up stuff at all, but back it up fast.
Oh, absolutely.
Nice.
There are people in the chat who say,
crispy.
they remember the early runs, and it's so fast now that it's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so cool seeing, the transformation, with what, the sub 20 grind for 16 star did, is it kind of made, a new standard for what a what a big time save was. Because before, a second was, nothing in Blindfolded. But then when the sub 20 grind started happening, suddenly now a second was a huge time save, because that was just the shift in the level of optimization. And that's how sub 20 happened in 16 star, is because now I think in 16 star, basically every single star is at least pretty close to the speed of like a beginner visual strat. And that's so huge for speed, because before there were so many strats, even by like the most legendary runners like Nobody, that were like, there was some like crazy fast stuff, but then stuff that was like shockingly slow when you look back at it with how optimized things are now.
Yeah, for context for folks, some of you may have only seen Bubzia back at SGDQ 2021 when he first ran 70-star Blindfolded for the mainline events. His estimate back then was a 215. I want you to look at the estimate on screen right now. It is a 140, which is even lower than the actual time he got, because he got a 149.59 back then. So the amount of optimization cannot be understated here.
Yeah. And not just optimization, but just consistency as well.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, what? Yeah, if he backs this up, yeah, no, you can't back that up. He like stuttered on the edge there. That's a common thing in Mario 64. I didn't know you could do that there. Yeah, that death was unfortunate. That was such a weird thing, but you would not think to make a backup for that. Then also, like, this is another great example of a star that's just gone through a huge transformation. Like, this is all fluid motion. And, like, before, like, there was some different runners had different strategies using, like, backflips and slide kicks and stuff, but he just, like, runs through it. Now, look at this. This is another cool strategy you maybe see in visual speedruns. Can he get the box? Oh no, he doesn't know it's behind him. I think he'll find it?
Oh, there it goes, there it goes.
No. Ooh, is that the strategy actually? I don't know. I don't think that's the strategy. But, he backed it up. I don't know if that's something he's learned. Now look at this. It's a really cool strategy. You can just fly over this. Ground down. And then, Lethal Lava Land has some really, really interesting strategies. There's a couple I'm actually going to point out. So I think there's a couple stars you might be going for. Ooh, look, now this, you might think, like, why do you, like, stop there? But this is actually to get the police star. This is actually a strategy found by another community member, Dazzlerbite. And I'll get into a discussion later about, like, the community contributions, but I think coming up next... Ooh, can he back this up? Ooh, yep, he's just gonna have to search for this. But yeah. Okay, good.
There we go.
Yeah. So I'll get into the discussion about the community's contributions, especially lately. But I think coming up in a star or two, there's going to be a really, really cool strategy that yeah, I think this is it. So he's using the fixed cam again, and so now, like, if you know visual speedruns, you might be surprised to see this strategy. Lava boost in Blindfolded, first try? Can he get the star though? Yeah, I don't know how he does that. He's so consistent with it now. I know in the record he mentioned that he's gotten so consistent with that strategy. It's yeah.
That's so satisfying.
It's so crazy that that's just in Blindfolded. Not even that's in Blindfolded, but it's in 70 star, and he just got it first try, and he got it first try in the record. That it's really that's a fairly difficult strategy, and it's just in Blindfolded now. And look at this. This is just a little optimization. We used to like do repeated slide kicks until you kill the bully. Now we just hit him off. And there's all these little things that add up. They're all throughout the run.
Oh my goodness, this is just so impressive because I haven't seen him do 70 star in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Probably since SGDQ 2021.
Yeah.
So like just seeing how this has changed is incredible.
Yeah. And this is a good segue into mentioning a big reason why it's so different and how there's been so many improvements is that now more than ever the community has been contributing so much in terms of strategies. Because this has happened, of course, like always there's been contributions from other speedrunners, other community members. Like a big part of the sub 2016 star run was people like Nico, another runner, contributing a lot of strategies. But now, especially with 70 star, the community as a whole is contributing so many new strategies. And in fact, in Bubsy's Discord server, he's making use of the forums feature, which I don't see too often. And look at that. That's such a fast strategy. That's just first try, easy. But now each star has its own thread, and anyone can post any ideas they have for any star. So we see strategies from all sorts of other runners. We see even from like visual speedrunners, even from people that don't really speedrun the game at all. Because the cool thing about Blindfolded, especially for longer categories like 70 star and now 120 star, is that, ooh, that's just RNG. He got hit by the rock. Ooh, he almost got hit again. But the interesting thing about especially the longer categories is even people that don't really speedrun can contribute, because a lot of this is not about like just pure speed, but clever usage of Mario's moveset and the level geometry and the camera. So it's almost like a puzzle, and that's not, you don't need to have crazy speedrun knowledge to be able to do that and to be able to make contributions. And one of the people that makes some of the most contributions is that barely even speedruns the game. I think they have like a 40-minute time in 16 star, and they've only done like a few runs, and they've contributed a lot. And like just today, I think like 7 different people were contributing to Cool Mountain 100 coin. Ooh, might be difficult. Can he get to the door? Yeah, this is fun. Literally no one can see what's happening. Not Bubsy, not any of the viewers. Yeah, there's a few strategies like this where the camera, you just can't see anything, and that's how you know Bubsy is a legit, because you can't just do some of these strategies because like literally you can't see in the game even with your eyes open.
Yeah, he's nodding there. He realizes something has gone wrong here.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think over there's also some weird slippery surface that's really annoying, even visually, if you don't know how to deal with it. Yeah, that's an unfortunate death, but a death in 70 star, even the record has like a bunch of deaths because it is just such a long category, and Blindfolded is, I know, shocker, really hard.
Imagine.
So, you know, I know firsthand, it is not easy. So,
we've got an even more live Bubsy point of view there with just all the black there.
Yeah.
Right, here we go again.
Yeah, I think he messed up a little thing. And that's the thing. One of the reasons Blindfolded is so hard is tiny little mistakes can lose so much time. Like, I think Bubsy like went a little too much to the left, and he bonked, and then he died.
Yeah, and just could not find his footing again.
Yeah. In visual speedruns, you would just back that up, even if it'd be nothing. But in a Blindfolded run, that tiny mistake, just being a little too far to the left, meant a death. And that's one of the reasons Blindfolded is so hard, and why consistency is so important, even over like fastest strategies possible. Being as consistent as possible is honestly more important, because the tiniest mistakes can mean such huge time loss. Even like moderate mistakes, like you can just overshoot a door and a visual speedrun lose like half a second. Blindfolded might lose like 5 seconds. Now this is another cool strategy. You can just go over that wall. There's no ceiling, and then Ooh, he's a little too far to the right, but you can also just hit the switch without the metal cap. It's really funny. Visual speedruns actually go right onto the switch. It's really cool.
Someone in chat bringing up, one time he brushed the sign in Dark World Reds and it sent him plummeting into the void.
Oh my god,
So that's just a prime example of even the smallest
Yeah.
difference in movement from your usual blindfolded route just can absolutely throw it on its head.
Yeah, especially I think with the sign, there's some weird collision there. Because there's a lot of weird collision stuff. Perfect timing. There's a lot of weird collision stuff in this game where you can just get pushed through stuff, you know, all this. It's surprisingly, it doesn't happen too much in like casual gameplay, but if you know about it and you know how to use it, it's so easy to do some of these glitches and clips and stuff. Now, Mips Crab, it's getting Mips from Hazy Maze Cave instead of Lethal Lava Land is much harder, but you know, he learned that in 16 star, and now he's consistent with it for 70 star. Now, also, this is another thing. So, he's going to Vanish Cap, which, if you know 70 star visual, that is not in the route. But the thing is, Vanish Cap opens up a few more stars, including the Vanish Cap Red Star. And in Blindfolded, that's important because a lot of stars that are fast for visual speedruns are either weirdly slow for Blindfolded or are extremely inconsistent to do fast. So, like, for example, Wing Cap Reds, he actually went into the Wing Cap stage earlier just to get the Wing Cap, and he didn't get the Red Coin Star. You might be wondering why. But that's because Wing Cap Reds is one of the hardest stars in the game. Even though it's just a standard 70 star, it's flying, and there is no way to normalize anything with flying. It's all, you basically just have to do as close to like a bunch of frame perfect inputs as you can. And just hope for the best. Wing Cap Reds is legitimately one of the hardest stars because you just have to fly and get, you only have to get 3 sets of reds. One of them you can just start flying from the ground to get them, but you have to get 3 sets of red coins just completely in one go. And that is extremely difficult.
I struggle with Wing Cap Reds even casually. Yeah. Like, if you don't play this game a lot, the controls are not... They're intuitive, but they're also a little hard to adjust to if you're used to games more like Sunshine or Odyssey, even. So, like, especially working with the camera angles. So to see it in a speedrun, in a visual speedrun, it is already absurd. But to see it done completely blindfolded is incredible.
Yeah. And, like, with the camera is, like, notoriously bad, but it's weirdly good for speedruns. You just have to know how to use it. Because, like, you can see Bubsy constantly setting up the camera, and it works so well, and is often so consistent if you know how to use it. Although, still sometimes, there's, like, spots in the game where it just randomly turns, and it kills you. Like, in Tiny Huge Island, there's a spot, I think, when you're going on the wooden plank on the mountain, it just turns, and if you're just holding forward to go over the plank, it actually, if you're just not paying attention, you move into the slippery mountain side, and you just slip off. And it's completely just BS. But aside from moments like that, if you know how to use the camera, it's pretty good.
Yeah. The consistent angles, the benefit that the Super Mario 64 camera has is that you can set consistent angles, and it does affect Mario's movement, and just understanding how the game's movement works down to a more granular way helps a lot. But casually, the camera can be a nightmare to work with. But someone in chat is asking how is he doing this. Well, he's been working at it for about 8 years, so he wasn't always quite this consistent. If you've never seen Bubsy before, he's been doing this for a very long time, and his estimate today is lower than his first showcase on GDQ during SGDQ 2021. Like, his estimate back then was a 215. It's a 140 now, and that's even faster than the time he got back then in 2021. So like, it's just years and years of practice and just people contributing over the years, new strats, learning new things about like how the game works, how to utilize sound cues, Mario's moveset, everything, just understanding the geometry of the game. Like, this is a masterful understanding of the game here.
Yeah. And, like, even, like, the estimate is like, 14 minutes slower than the world record before Bubsy got it a while back. Because the record before Bubsy got it back, when nobody had it, was 1 hour, 26 minute time from 2021. So, and like, now the record is 10 minutes lower, which is insane. And now
I can't even do that whilst looking at the game.
This I wasn't even paying attention. This is one of the really hard stars. It's really good he got this first try. There was a harder strat, I think, before, but you have to like count the individual like ticks of the cannon sound moving. I think it's like 17 or something. And then also, I think we're going to see this again. When he lands on the island with a wing cap, he actually is like way, his angle is like really, really steeply angled up. And with the wing cap, this is useful if you know about it. It really messes you up if you don't. Your angle is actually kind of stored, so he uses that to get all the secrets. Then, yeah. So, like, but then also, if you don't know about this, because, like, I remember, like, a while ago, Bubsy posted a thing about, like, oh, hey, there's, like, a video about how this is a thing, and I guess he wasn't aware of it. Like, that would have really, I think it probably messed him up when he didn't know about it, because things might have just randomly not worked, because he didn't know about that angle storage. But now we can use it to our advantage. And I think it's also used in visual speedruns to get the really fast Wing Mario over the rainbow strategy a little more consistently. There's a really difficult strategy that visual speedrunners use in 120 star. I'm surprised it's used in 120, but I think the angle storage makes it a lot easier.
Also, if you don't mind, while we go through this Big Boo's Haunt star, I just want to remind everyone that if you do miss out on any of our Hotfix shows or events like Back to Black or Cross Fatales, or if you've missed the beginning of this show and you were like, man, I want to go back and watch that, you can check out our VODs over on youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. So if you've missed a live show, it's usually up on our YouTube within a couple of weeks. You can always go back and rewatch some of your favorite episodes, or check out episodes you've never seen before if you're brand new to Hotfix.
Yeah, so far this has been a pretty good run. I wonder, I'm gonna actually see like how he's doing compared to record. I think he's gotten a little lost, but oh my gosh, that's a really good backup.
Oh yeah, that was actually I didn't know he was gonna do that.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. So, yeah.
And at a very basic level, in terms of folks who don't know what blindfolded speedrunning is like, games that have good blindfold capability are games that have, like, you know, you can hear their footsteps, or there's good geometry to rely on. A friend of mine does Tomb Raider 1 blindfolded, and utilizes the tank controls that are very, very consistent to be able to move Lara Croft around. So a very similar thing happens here with Mario, being very familiar with his moveset, knowing how much his jump kicks move him, or his punches move him, or even just his backflips. Knowing all of those things really help. But you can speedrun or like challenge run yourself with a lot of different things blindfolded. Blindfolded. Someone's even done Sonic the Hedgehog 2 before.
Yeah.
And that has no footstep sounds or anything, just you have to know the level layouts very, very well.
It's incredible what some people do blindfolded.
Oh, yeah.
Like, some games like Ocarina of Time is an amazing blindfolded game because like all the fast movement is entirely normalized.
Yes.
Because like you do like a side hop to the side or like a roll forward, it's pretty much going to go the same distance every time.
Yeah.
And that's also like some of the fastest movement in the game. So you can get really fast movement that's entirely consistent. But then something like Mario 64 at first you might not think would be the best because the only like fully consistent movement is like backflips and punches, which are so slow. Like I think backflips are like 3 times slower than like fast movement, and punches are they're ridiculously slow. But but Mario 64 makes up for the lack of consistent movement with just having a lot of variety in movement options. Ooh, I think he might just have to pause exit here. I don't think he's getting... Yeah, he's gonna have to pause exit. Unless if he has some crazy backup. Yeah, I don't think he... Oh,
I don't know if he knows. Maybe he might be trying to... Oh, never mind. I think
he does not know where he is.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think he knows where he is right now. I think he's trying to figure it out.
What is happening? He's bouncing up. Yeah, he's not.
Oh, wait.
He might know where he is, because he knows there's the boo there.
Yeah.
He might have the backup.
Oh, wait.
Dude.
I think he's trying to line himself back up with the portrait.
Oh, yeah, I don't... Yeah, I don't really know, like... Where is...
What is he using the wall kicks?
Does he think he's, like, at the box area or something? Like, I don't know what he's trying to do. I think he's not in the place he thinks he is. Yeah.
No, he's just gonna restart it, I think.
Yeah, he should have done that a while ago, I think. But of course, obviously we can see that, but he can't.
Yeah, sometimes stubbornness. Stubbornness is a very real thing in challenge runs like this.
Yeah, and stubbornness and not being able to see that you're not where you think you are.
Yeah, because I've played with someone helping me. Like I've played I used to speedrun Sonic Adventure 2, and I had someone guiding me through the first few levels of Dark Story. Someone who had never played the game before, and bless him, he goes, "Yeah, you've got about maybe like 4 frames of movement before you fall into quicksand and die." And I had to stop for a second. I was like, "Jay, could you pretend for a moment that I am a human being?"
Yeah. 4 frames.
Like, he's a person who's able to, feel out frames in the speedruns he does, and I'm like, I am not at that level. I was like, I'm not a terrible SA2 runner, but oh my god, I don't know what 4 frames feels like in 3D space.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is a hard start. Oh, no, that's where he thought he was.
I get it.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. He didn't know he was out of the room. I forgot there's a wing, or a vanish cap there. Yeah, no. Oh, that makes a lot more sense now. That's what he's trying to do.
So that's how he knows he's got it.
Yeah, that's the funny thing that's the funny thing, like, when these backups, when people try to do backups blindfolded and they're just, like, in the wrong place, it's like watching, like, a tool-assisted speedrun desync. Because, like, it's so similar. It's really funny.
It's exactly like that, or when when you have, like, for some reason a bugged out attract mode in a game, and it has no idea what it's doing, but it's trying to follow with a set of inputs it was programmed with, and like the game's running over or under speed, and it's just not happening.
Yeah. And then I think there's actually a desync like that in the preview things, like the demo in Mario 64 in the Shindo version, which is the Japanese re-release, which adds rumble pack support and patches backwards long jump. But the way tree grab mechanics and pole grab mechanics works is slightly different. There's a bug where when you grab a tree, you're supposed to wrap around it at a different amount depending on how much speed you have, but that doesn't happen. But there's in Hazy Maze Cave, there's a pole there. They use the pole, so it actually slightly desyncs the demo in just the Shindo version.
It was a really good Big Boo fight, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really fast.
see, we've got more stars here. Like 3 more stars, I think? It's like 7 in each that you need to grab. I actually don't know the 70-star route that Bubsia
I think
does.
he only has 1 more.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna see how he's comparing to the record after he gets out of Big Boo's haunt. Ooh, yeah, he's... See, this is what I was talking about earlier. Just missing a door and you lose, like, multiple seconds.
I struggle getting that star with my eyes open. Same.
Yeah, especially the speedrun strat. So, yeah, he's like maybe 4.5 minutes behind the record, which is pretty good for a random no reset.
Yes, and also considering he is up at over like at just after 3 a.m. his time. So I am very grateful.
It's
he's
3 a.m.
here.
almost 4 a.m. for him.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does this at this time of day. How do you do this? I can't do this like well rested.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of European runners and commentators on the show the last couple of months, and I am grateful to each and every one of you who are willing to either stay up late or wake up ungodly early just to be here on the show. So thank you.
Yes. So fun fact about Blindfolded Mars 64, for some reason, like, everyone is European. Like, there's, like, Nico is Italian, I think Johannes is German, Bubsy is German, Ribiri, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, is Polish, Klokisman is Norwegian, Red Yoshi is, I think, British. But, so, yeah, you'll never guess why I'm here commentating, because I'm the, like, one American. So it's only not even 11 at night for me.
Yeah.
So it's a good time for me to commentate. But like no one else, everyone else is European. So it's like 3, 4 in the morning for them.
Mm-hmm. Folks are confirming Handyman is German.
Oh yes, Handy too. Completely forgot about him. Can't forget about him. He's also top runner. He took a pretty big break, but I think now he's back doing some 16 star. He was actually going for a record before Bubsy had it, when it was Nobody had the record, like a few years ago. I think like 2021, 2022, and then Bubsy came in and just destroyed the record. And then personal stuff, I think work stuff, came up with Hendy, and he had to take a big break, but now he's back. So it'll be cool to see where he goes, because Handyman already has in 16 star. Ooh, I think he can back this up.
Oh.
Ooh, he might be able to, but ooh, he's actually going to the edge, to the dock. That's smart.
To normalize himself, it looks like.
Yep. And then now he was going for the back sub strategy, which is like the beginner to intermediate visual strategy. Now you get to see the old strategy. This was the strategy for the longest time until a little before Bubsy went back to 16 star after doing 120 star. This was it. Backflipping up these boxes.
Oh my goodness.
It is so slow. It is so slow. But that was just the strat everyone used.
Yeah, but damn if it wasn't consistent there. Holy crap.
Yeah. This is like there's for a little bit there's actually a really weird like strat that's like so super hard without a really good setup, where you like side flip wall kick up to a platform by the corner he went to before backflipping towards the box or towards the switch. But yeah, now there's just back sub. Now also, this is another crazy strategy. It's crazy he's doing this consistently enough to do it in 70 star. This is the fast Bowser in the Fire Sea cycle. Nobody was the first person to do this in the runs, but Bubsy came up with that lava boost, that lava burn, to be able to more consistently get the cycle.
Lava boosts in this angle is giving me anxiety. My goodness.
Yeah, but like, doesn't matter what the angle is for him. Missed the fast wall kicks, but easily backs it up. Yeah, just easy gets into there. Although one time, he thought he rolled out right at the end, but he actually didn't, and he died. But the reason that was really bad is because that was the first time he did the incredibly difficult trick Dire Dock skip for the first time in a run. So he threw the first possible world first 0-star run because he celebrated too early because he thought he got into the warp, but he actually didn't. It was so bad. But you never want to celebrate early, especially in Blindfolded, until you completely confirmed. Like even like we'll see later in the run, like the very end of the run with the final throws. You know, you might think like, oh, he got the final throw. He did it. Now, but he can just miss the star at the end. He's done that before, too. You can literally just miss the star at the end and have to redo throws. Literally, it is never over until it's over, until the very end. There's some really cool strats in this stage. I wonder what he'll go for first. I think he's going for the secret star. The interesting thing, the way that these secrets works, whenever there's just like a magic number that comes up that's not like a coin or something, there's actually like a special object in the game where it's like a coin but it's invisible. Oh my gosh, he got a glitchy ball kick there, I think. Oh my gosh, that was not his fault. That was so unfortunate. I think he's... Can he back this up? He knows the backup, of course he does. Of course he knows the backup. Oh no, that's not good. That's... Oh my god, but then he side flips over. He knows all the... I didn't even know that was a backup. He just knows all the backup. Yeah, so anyway, like the
not
secrets...
messing around today.
Oh, yeah. Like, all the secrets are actually, like, kind of like a coin that's just, like, invisible. So, like, it's not actually, like, breaking the boxes that gives you the secrets. And it's interesting. So you can actually... I think he did it earlier. You can actually... And just there, you can actually collect the secrets without breaking the boxes. And then just quickly gets the star crazy long enough. Yeah, I didn't know that was a backup. That was a very, very good backup. And now, using the backflip to get the high water level. This is another star where getting the vanish cap allows you to get this star. And then look at this. That's such a cool strategy. Just quickly ledge grabbing to change your angle, because changing your angle consistently in the water with swimming is really inconsistent.
Yeah,
so
I've noticed he's
perfect...
deliberately swimming into walls and other things to be able to change his angle there, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't think like swimming into things can change your angle. Really, I think up and down it can.
Mm-hmm.
But left and right, you just have to hope you time it correctly. So that's why water levels are really difficult. And so you basically just have to time it based on the swimming. You have to just time the swimming based off of like a rhythm. I think it's like 90 beats per minute or something.
I don't quite remember either, but I do remember it being a rhythmic swim style.
Yeah. Well, that's a good segue. I'll see if there's like a good star. Oh yeah, this is another star where you can't see. But I'll see. It's a good segue into talking on another technique if another star shows it, called beat counting. Because basically, like, you know how like music has like a beat to it. And you can kind of use that like a metronome to time inputs. And this is like the most powerful technique in Blindfolded. Because you can just time inputs based off the beat of the music. Like it's a rhythm game. And so that means you can just time inputs completely arbitrarily. Like, so like here, like how does he know when to turn? There's no good like sound cues. But it's because he's timing it to the beat of the music. And that's like the biggest Blindfolded strategy. That's how like so many of these crazy strategies are possible. That otherwise like seem like they shouldn't be possible, because you can just, using the beat of the music, you can just time inputs however you want. And like if you didn't have that, you'd have to use like crazy muscle memory. And see, they're just a cool little strategy, ledge grabbing on the side, then when the platform gets to the top, Mario automatically ledge grabs, so he knows that he's at the top. It's just a little thing you might not notice, but it's really cool, the little details. I like this, like, that fast switch press, like, I think it, like, isn't the most consistent thing, but it's really quick to back up with a slower strategy he would be doing anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, nice quick star. It's really crazy how many strategies are just the visual strategies now. Because, like, that's just what you do in a visual speedrun. Right there, what he did. Then, I think this might be the last star. The hardest star of the run. Just long jump over there, then the box is right there.
I didn't even know that warp was there.
Oh yeah, it takes a star and it's like 13 seconds. And then it's interesting, like he like ground pounds into the box. Then because you land on the box, you can ground pound again. It's a little slower, but it's just a really convenient strategy. Now, see, I really like this camera angle. Just really like making use of all the camera angles. Like that camera angle setup at the start just perfectly. You would never do it in a visual speedrun, but it perfectly sets the angle. Oh, and this is another cool strategy found by a community member. It's like pretty slow by visual standards, but compared to the other blindfolded strategies, just doing that is so good. And then it didn't work quite there, but you can see also sliding down the slope just perfectly puts you in the right spot. That whole star is just so cool, and it's all that strategy is from community contributions, like we were talking about earlier.
If you've ever seen someone doing a speedrun or a challenge run and been like, I could never do that, it's like, well,
Yeah.
let me be the first to say that you probably could, but you can definitely contribute to the way that these runs develop.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a pro gamer or a pro speedrunner or anything like that to be able to contribute to the speedrun community in a meaningful way, whether it's through developing routes, finding tricks, finding skips, glitches, optimizing the route. Or even if you end up getting into tassing, or you know, get into running events or hosting events, like there is a place in speedrunning for everyone. And sometimes when it comes to finding your game, sometimes it's not just finding the right game for you, it's finding the way to play it that clicks with you.
100%.
Like,
there's so many ways to play so many games. And on the topic of, like, you know, you probably can do this, it might look like impossible, but you can do this. Bubsy actually has a totally beginner-friendly 16-star tutorial on his YouTube channel, and several people, actually like quite a few, have followed the tutorial and finished a run. And in fact, like, with it literally, like, you can not only like get a run, but finish like a sub 1 hour run in 16-star. Like, several people have done it. And we've seen some recently, like a few really good runners have come out. Like Johannes got a sub 30, and he's the first person to get a sub 30 in a very long time, because there just haven't been too many runners at a high level. And there's like Ribiri and Cookiesmon, Red Yoshi. They're all like new runners that have just come up and gotten really good time. Oh no. Does he know the backup? Does he have a backup for this? Oh my gosh, yep. Camera.
Oh, he's got everything.
Yeah, like, literally, he's not only has he done it for like 8 years, which is, you're going to learn so much stuff like this over 8 years. He's
Oh,
literally
yeah.
been here since day one. He did the first 16-star run of the game. So he's not only been here like for a long time, but he's been here for basically every single strategy and every single backup. So he knows, that's one of the big things that he has going for him. He just knows like everything because he's been here for everything. But now, in this level, I think there's a slight strategy that saves like 5 seconds. I don't know if he's going to go for it because it loses a lot of time if he fails it. Well, we'll have to see if he goes for it. This nice quick star right there. Get the star.
So actually, let me ask you this: if someone wanted to pick up learning the blindfolded speedrun without using like an N64 or virtual console version of the game, and they wanted to say like use the HD, like the anniversary re-release that was on Switch, is it possible to utilize the HD re-release? Like if that's all, if that's the only access they had to learn the blindfolded run at all?
So the problem with the re-release is
It's Shindo, right?
Yeah, it's based off the Shindo version of the game, which hatches backwards long jumps. So you could do 70 or 120 star. Also, I just like to point out that's such a sick strat. Just backpedaling up there. Yeah. So with the HD re-release, you can't do 16 star, 0 star, or 1 star. You can do
70 and 120.
70 and 120. But you just can't do BLJs, and some of the strategies have to be a little different. If that's
Okay.
all you have, that you can use that. Also, I think with that version, you can use the D-pad. So even if you don't have a controller with, I don't think I mentioned this, but like N64 controller, what Bubsy uses the GameCube controller and Wii Classic controller. They all have like notches on the control stick. So like the control stick has like an octagon shape, and you can put the control stick into one of the little notches to get a perfect up, down, left, right, or diagonal. And you can get like pretty good times without the notches. It just makes things a lot easier. I think actually Bubsy got the first sub hour with like a 50-minute run in 16 star without notches, and it was a very, very good run for the time. Because, I mean, first sub hour is a 50-minute run, so like that was a pretty huge PB, and he got that without the notches. Notches are very important. They're used everywhere, but you don't absolutely need them. But if you do only have like the re-release, you can use the D-pad, I think, to instead of notches to get the perfect angle. But I don't think you can do that on Nintendo Switch Online. But I think there are special controllers that people use for games like Breath of the Wild blindfolded. I think it's the 8-bit do controllers. There are some that I think that's like, it might be like D-pad instead of a joystick or something.
Yeah, there's
maybe...
there's an 8-bit Do controller that has literally like 3 D-pads on it, I'm pretty sure, and I own that.
Yeah.
I bought that when I was interested in learning the Link's Awakening remake, just because it was easier to lock into angles. And then eventually I got a custom faceplate for my Switch controller, because shell swapping on Switch controllers is pretty easy. So I have one with notches because I'm used to GameCube controllers, and I love my notches.
Yeah, I've seen like it's on Amazon. I saw one. I don't like. Where did you get yours? Because I know the one single one I saw on like Amazon was really expensive.
The 8-bit Do one?
Is it? Do they have a notch controller for? Or I mean the faceplate.
The faceplate was actually custom made on Etsy. There's a couple of people.
Nice.
My partner TGH and I both got our custom Switch Pro faceplates from the same person on Etsy.
That's really cool.
So if you search for it on Etsy, someone probably still exists doing that because they use a laser cutter. So I have this really nice like atomic purple front plate for my Pro controller that has like GameCube style notches for the left and right sticks.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I didn't know about that. So that's something I learned that's new. I think Bubsy just made a mistake here. He just pause exited, but getting right back into this. And I mentioned Breath of the Wild. I think Bubsy, I don't know if he has the record. I think he might, but he's also done Breath of the Wild, Blindfolded, and like so many games. The thing is about Bubsy, like maybe you've seen his Mario 64 runs, but he's also done like so many other games. In fact, I think the most games out of any other person blindfolded, the most categories. He's done the most games out of anyone blindfolded. He's done the most runs out of anyone blindfolded. So like it's really cool that he has both like breadth and depth, because like he has so many games and he's able to be like really multifaceted and do all these different games, but also he's able to hyper optimize games like Mario 64 at the same time. Because like a lot of speedrunners, maybe they focus on one game and they get really good at it, or they just do like a bunch of games and get like pretty good at them. But Bubsy has done both, which is what really cool.
So here's an interesting question in chat. I don't know if you know the answer to it, but is it known how long it took him to learn the speedrun for the game Blindfolded? Because he's been working at this for 8 years to get to this level, but to get his first run done, do you happen to know how long he was working at that?
I don't know. It was probably a while, but the thing is, he was starting from the ground up. No one else did Blindfold. He was the first ever. So like nowadays you can just watch his tutorial and do it, but I don't know how long it must have taken him just off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think maybe when we hit post run, we can always ask him, hey, how long did it take you to learn the category in the very first place? So I'd love to know the answer to that.
Yeah, and the original run was 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And the strategies, looking back, are like so bad. Not just in terms of speed, but like consistency. They make like no sense, some of them. Because the run is just because like he was making stuff up just because no one else did it, so he had to come up with things.
Yeah, he had to pioneer everything.
Yeah, and he didn't have notch controllers. He didn't use beat counting. I don't know how he finished a run at all, but somehow he did, and now the run's 19 minutes 43 seconds. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's been really incredible. Because like I follow him on Instagram as well. I don't know if he's still on there, but I remember watching him posting clips of him learning various stars for like 120 and learning how to optimize some of the stars in 70 star. So it's been a really interesting journey to watch over the last few years.
Yeah. And like that's the thing also, like just half of learning for someone like Bubsy that's like a top, like that's like on the cutting edge of Blindfolded Mario 64. Like the skills he's learning, he's not just learning how to beat the game as fast as possible. He's also, one of the most important skills he's learned over time is routing stars. So like that's a big reason of how he got so good at 16 stars, because after he did his first 120 star run, he got so much better at routing because he had to route basically most of the 120 stars, because a lot of them, another runner, I think it was Katoon, did route a lot of the stars, but they were pretty slow and not meant for full game speedruns, so he basically had to route like the entire 120 star run, and he got so much better at routing throughout with that process. And after that, like that's a big part of how he got to where he is now, because not just his speedrunning skills improved, but his routing skills improved. Now, okay, there's another star where you can't see. This is always a fun one. Yeah, just if you don't believe he's legit, just watch something like this. You can't make this out. You can't fake this. Unless you're literally like replaying a tool-assisted speedrun. There.
I love when we get locked camera like that and it's just suddenly star!
Yeah.
We're already 54 stars in.
Yeah. Yeah, already 54 stars in. Although once he gets to the hippie area, which is what speedrunners call like the area with like Wing Mario the Rainbow, TikTok Clock, Rainbow Ride, and the final Bowser stage. Those are some of the hardest stars, particularly Rainbow Ride. I know in the world record he was mentioning that he was really like worried about getting to some of the stars in there.
Yeah, also, I just want to point out someone in chat says, I like the commentary so far, and I just want to say, yeah, you've been carrying this really hard. Thank you so much for doing commentary for this run.
No problem.
You've been really insightful.
Yeah, I'm glad to be. Because I know just a lot about this game and a lot about Blindfolded, so, yeah. Yeah, look at the red coin star in Cool Cove Mountain. It's really just such a cool star. And look at this, like, strategy just to slide down.
Oh!
And then also look at this, narrowly avoids the tree grab as well. And then
he's going for this this coin over here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then wants to be really careful about not going over the edge. Look quickly, then intentional bonk.
Yep.
That's intentional
to get to this warp.
The warp. And then just a quick right down there. This strat, this whole star is just filled with so many interesting strategies. What's he doing? I don't like the look on his face. He looks like he's not confident in his okay, good. Oh no. Okay, good. He got the star. Yes.
I know, this is also wild even without a blindfold, because I am not a Mario 64 runner, and I replayed the game when it came out in the 3D collection. I was just like, wow, have I always been this bad at video games?
Yeah.
Or is it just the fact that this game's camera is a mess casually?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and also like Mario 64, like for like one of the first like proper 3D platformers, it holds up incredibly well. But it's also one of the first like good 3D platformers, so a lot of the mechanics are unintuitive to modern gamers.
Yeah.
Because like, especially if you're used to other Mario games like Mario Odyssey, just like simple things like you can't change your angle while mid-air. Like, to me, I'm like super used to that, and it just makes sense to me. But like, if you're used to Odyssey, that's not how that works.
Yeah, like I grew up with this game. Like, I've been gaming since like the Sega Genesis days, but like, so I grew up with this game, but it never clicked with me the way like Mario Sunshine Onward did.
Yeah.
And I think it's largely due to the camera, but this is such a good starting point for 3D platforming back in 1996.
Yeah, like everyone wanted to copy this game because it was just like so good. All right, now look, guess what star he's going for? You know, you think, oh, he's going for the pyramid star.
Nope.
No.
Vulture.
Getting this star. I think the strategy was found by Nobody, and it's so funny. That's so scary at the end, like right into the quicksand. But like it's technically not quicksand at that point. Like he literally lands in the quicksand texture. But it just works. I guess it's consistent. Then now I think he's going to be getting the actual pyramid star. And you look at this like so quickly. We used to like use the box, and it was so much slower. Now we just get it just like a visual speedrun. I don't actually remember what other stars we get here. I assume... Oh, is it just nothing? why I didn't remember what stars we get here, because it's just those two.
Yeah, it's just nothing there. Which, like,
Yep.
I can imagine
Pause
it
exit.
makes sense because Shifting Sandland has to be a really unfun blindfolded world,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, the thing is, like, all, like, the fast stars, like, visually, like, pillarless, you can't do pillarless blindfolded consistently. Taylor actually has a visual runner done Tomaples, which is the harder version, completely blindfolded just based off of muscle memory, because she's just like the best person at pillarless. It has like all the single star world records, all the records for like the full game run strategies. But like pillarless isn't viable, but then also even just like shell, there's no normalization, so you can't do that. Wing cap is, you can kind of do that, but it's still pretty slow. Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a really cool strategy. This is all intended. This is how it's supposed to go. Nice, really good completion. And then right into the stuff.
God, the anxiety from like
Yeah,
going
this
into the
is-
fire.
Yeah. So someone asked in the chat, world record is currently a 1 hour 16 minute time. 140 is just the general estimate for how long this run might take.
If
but
everything
it's actually
goes wrong, yeah.
Yeah, if everything goes wrong. But it's looking, I think someone said it was maybe even barely sub
120.
120 pace, which,
Yeah.
like, that's crazy. Because, like, that's the world record currently, the 116, was the first sub 120. Oh my gosh. Can he back this up? I don't know. Does he know that? I
He
can't
knows
see
where
he has
the
a backup
switch
for this.
is.
Yeah, he does have the backup.
Oh,
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
oh,
Wait,
yep,
was
there
that
we
actually
go.
intentional?
There we go.
Dude,
Let's go.
This is what I'm talking about. He just knows he knows all the backups. He knows the backups for the backups. And then if he doesn't know that, he can figure out a backup on the fly. And if he doesn't know that, he can pause exit or whatever.
Yeah, like, it's like knowing when to, you know, basically know when to hold him and know when to fold him up and throw him out.
Yeah. But he just keeps, like, he just has backups for literally everything. So, like, he can just keep going a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because he can just back up the backup.
Like a newer runner would have had to quit out, probably.
Yep. Yeah, this star, he kind of struggled with this star in the world record, so let's see if he can get it pretty cleanly first try. I think he might have just gotten unlucky in the record. But, so I think he'll do pretty well here. This is such a cool star as well. It's really cool seeing the longer stars and like red coin stars where you have to collect things and do more complicated movement.
Yeah.
Just jumping over the fire.
Just watching like the
this
slight
strategy,
punches and kicks
that,
just
like,
to be able to line up. It's
yep.
so good.
And that strategy, like that backup, that backflip, sometimes it doesn't work, but like when it does work, it's just such a simple and like just like weird strategy that just works to ledge grab down below.
Yeah, someone in chat says, no doubt this is a hashtag passion project. I was saying before we started the show, I was like, when you say the show's title, Passion Project, very few speedrunners truly come to mind, like, immediately than, like, what Bubsia does here.
Yeah.
Like, Bubsia, Nico Hart, who does a lot of obtuse controllers, like, there's some incredible runners out there that are the definition of this show.
Yeah. And, like, with Bubsia, he's literally, he could, if he just wanted record, he could have stopped, like, a couple, like, years, like, once he got, like, 16 star record, he could have just stopped. It's finally a break on the carpet. Yeah, like, right now, Bubsy is completely uncontested. Like, he could, like, it's not to say he's, like, unbeatable. There are plenty of newer runners that have made some really good progress. Yeah, that's just the strategy. It's kind of, it looks like it's a mistake, but it's not.
No, it's not. It's just more of a, I didn't expect him to even get that, that hole grab. There we go. I can words.
Yeah, it's like right now he's like completely uncontested, but there are definitely runners like that have really made fast progress. Even myself, like I haven't really done much with full game runs, but I have some strategies that are faster than what Bubsy does. So he's not like totally uncontested. So I think he's not sure if he got the right time setting, but he did. Yeah, so if you don't know, tick-tock clock, depending on where the clock hands are, when you enter the stage, it can be moving, like, it can be stopped like it is now, it can be moving slowly, quickly, or randomly. And I think he uses for all of these the stop setting, which in speedruns, usually it's preferable because, you know, everything is stopped, but the problem is you have to wait for the hand to move over to the 12 o'clock for it to actually go to the setting. So, well, for visual speedruns, a lot of the more advanced strategies involve just not using the moving settings. Now you see that nice strategy. There's actually a small technical thing he used for that. It's called unreferenced walls, where you can't really interact with two walls at once properly. One of the walls you'll just run up against like it's not even there. Like, it won't let you through it, but you can just run into it. And ooh, death.
At least it was a quick death.
Yeah.
We take that.
Yeah, so with the unreferenced walls, what he did is he jumped into the wall where it was unreferenced, and then I don't know if this will be stopped. I think it is, yeah. So he walked into the unreferenced wall where he could just walk into the wall like there was nothing there. But then once the corner ended and he was only touching one wall, he could wall kick for the time jumps on moving bars star. So that's just, I think he also used that in Vanish Cap, and it's just like a little technical detail you would never think of that just is useful. And Bubsy is a type of person that just knows a lot of random little technical details about the game, and it's really useful.
What am I doing?
Oh no, this might be bad if he can't back this up, because you can't pause exit out of the castle. But yeah, he got the toad. Let's see if he can back this up. Because if he can't back this up, he just has to reset the console and go back to tick-tock clock. I think he knows the backup, or I don't know if he knows the backup or if he's just making this up on the fly. I think he's just making this up because this is pretty slow. Yeah, I think he might just reset, or I think he might be trying to get back to the toad. I think he can, I think, back this up if he does it right. I think he can back this up. It'll just, I don't know, he might. It depends, like, does he remember the exact geometry? Yeah, I think he might be trying to find the reset button now, just to reset the console. Yep.
There it goes. Now, he does save between stars, right?
Yeah, I think so. Because
So
with Blindfolded, the previous, like, person that dominated the game, nobody didn't actually save, I think, all the time. But Bubsy just saves because it's not worth it to not save, because it is actually faster by like 6 frames to not save. But it causes like a little bit of lag.
Yeah, but in a showcase like this, you kind of need to save at least somewhat often.
Yeah, like who cares? Like 6 frames. It is like a decent time save if you don't do it over the course of the run, but it doesn't matter for this. It doesn't matter as much as something like this, where he could have lost multiple stars worth of progress. And same with you could like game over even in a world record. The world record isn't optimized enough where like a game, like if you get like what happened there?
I'm wondering if he did that intentionally to be able to get the because he definitely went in way too late for stop time, so he's waiting for the correct entry time. There we go.
Yeah, so like, I think this is what I was talking about just now. I think it's good to talk about like where the 70-star record is now. It's pretty optimized, but there's still plenty of room for improvement. Like the current record has a ton of deaths because, you know, it is such a hard category. Although also he got like 3 deaths from complete BS RNG in the volcano. There's like, he got hit by an invisible wall 3 times in a row, which is like, in that case, is like, it's like such a precise thing to do, and he got it randomly, like, happened to him 3 times in a row. And that's just in the record, and lost like a minute in just 1 star. So like, there's still a lot of room for improvement, even in 70 star. But like now Bubsy is going to be moving on to 120 star. He's happy with his time, and 120 star. It'll be really interesting to see where 120 star goes. He's already done 120 star in 11 hours 22 minutes. Now he's aiming for first a sub 10-hour time, then maybe like an 8-hour time. But it's really like, no one can tell how low it might go because there's just so much possible room for improvement that there could be like a huge boost in consistency or a bunch of fast strategies that come up that save a bunch of time, and he might be able to get a much better time than even 8 hours, which is it's really cool because Blindfolded, there is no definite limit of where it can go.
Yeah.
Because there's no hard limitations. It's just whatever you can do blindfolded. So, like, even the really far off barriers, like a sub 1 hour in 70 star, that's ridiculous. That's not happening. But like, I mean, who knows? There's a lot. It would be one of the most incredible speedruns of all time, probably, if you got a sub one hour. But like, right now the strategies are nowhere near there. Maybe you could get like a sub 110 to be the next like big barrier. Yeah, I think he knows his backups for this star as well.
He seems to be very aware of where he is and what's going on right now.
Yeah, so like with like any of the categories, they could like something like a sub 18 and 16 star, a sub 1 in 70 star. Right now that's ridiculous, not happening. But you never know what might happen, because all the stuff that's happening now is like doing like, even with like the current records, and even just doing a run this good of 70 star live, no reset, on a GDQ Hotfix. Like with this, like a few years ago, this would have been a crazy, impossible thing. So you never know where it might go because there is no hard limit. But yeah, so now Bubsy has gotten all 70 stars. He's entering the final level. Just a quick camera setup to get a perfectly straight angle.
Already?
Yeah, it's incredible.
This has flown by. I've had a great time with this.
He's on incredible pace right now too.
Yeah,
like
for like 3 a.m. wake up time, absolutely.
Yeah. Dude, even not even 3 a.m. Like, just in general, this is an amazing run.
Oh, absolutely. Like the mistakes that have happened have not been like absolutely run ending or anything. Like they've been backed up, or he's been very aware and like, okay, I need to reset this.
Yeah.
Like, and there's been very few of those.
Yeah, it's really incredible how consistent Bubsy has gotten. And also, look at this. This is a 16 star strat, and it's just probably going to be first try in 70 star. So now, standing left side, can he get it? Yep, he can get it. Easy.
Nice.
Not even hard. It is easier than you'd think it'd be. And now, this is a strat you have not seen if you haven't seen a blindfolded run. Elevator skip.
Ooh.
That's a crazy strat.
That's spicy.
Yeah, it's really weird. The collision with that thing is so just janky. I don't know how it works. Now we're on to the final throws, but Bubsy will not be throwing the first 2 times, because you can actually just have Bowser run towards you and have the bomb go off here. It's slower, but you're not doing 3 throws blindfolded.
Yeah, that's consistent though.
Both because of the throws and because like Bowser's position afterwards is inconsistent after you throw him, depending on the frame you throw him. But look, see, he jumped. That's a 50-50 chance. He's gotten crazy unlucky before, but here we got pretty average luck. Two jumps. But now he has to do this final throw. You cannot just cheese it like the first 2. This is like a 2 or 3 frame input, so like at most a 1/10 of a second. And he nailed it. Yeah. But
I can't
it
even do
is,
that with
as
my
I-
eyes open.
Yeah, it is surprisingly hard. I don't know what Nintendo's thinking, but it is not over. He can miss the star. He's done it before.
coming up.
He can
Please
miss the
no.
star. He could need to like search for it, but yep, he gets
Oh.
it.
GG. That was
GG.
time, by the way. Oh, yep, there's the
Yeah.
bright light.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, that was an incredible run.
What a run. That was actually incredible.
Yeah. And like
Hello.
3 a.m.
Welcome back,
Oh God,
Bubsia.
Yeah.
I got flashbanged.
Yeah, you really did.
Oh my yeah.
Whoa.
That was a 121.54 on my screen,
Yeah.
by the way.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's the third best run in the world, I think.
And this is a 3 a.m. run. No reset.
That was
Crazy.
incredible.
Yeah, you put on a show.
Wow, yeah, that's a really, really good time. I think third or fourth best run of 70 star in the world.
I think
Um,
the chat's trying to confirm it is the third best ever blindfolded 70 star.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that was incredible.
cool.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very happy about the run. Lots of the hard parts went like very good. Very like first try, Dark World Reds, lava boost,
Mhm.
and yeah, and then I zoned out and like doing TTC re-entry completely messed up. But yeah, it was a good run, so I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we are a bit underestimate. Should I still like do something, or is the next show ready to start? I'm pretty flexible there.
Next run is ready. If you want to go ahead and do shout outs as we wrap up for you. Thank you again for doing this
Alright.
run and being up so early.
Yeah, no problem at all. I'm very happy to be here and showcase this. So, yeah, thank you very much. Huge shoutouts to the Blindfolded community, to my community here on Twitch. We are always hanging out. I stream 5 days a week, usually morning time in the US. So if you want to see more of Blindfolded, we are currently routing 120 star. It's pretty fun. Lots of community efforts who, like, everyone throws in ideas for new strats. It's very fun. Huge shoutouts to Blobfish as well here for commentating. Thank you so
Oh,
much,
yeah.
man.
Blobfish did excellent
And-
commentary.
Thank you.
Awesome, that's very good to hear. And yeah, that's about it, I think. So thank you very much for having me here.
And thank you very much for submitting and running. And hopefully, if you ever have another project, don't be afraid to submit it again. We'd love to have you back.
Absolutely.
Blindfolded 120 live.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like, how long would that be? Like 10 hours? I don't know if you could fit that in.
Maybe on a
Yeah,
weekend special.
easy.
Who knows?
Maybe. Honestly, maybe.
But
It would certainly be a good showcase.
Oh, absolutely. But thank you again for being here, and don't go away, chat. We do have one more run for tonight. It's going to be some more Mario goodness. If you like classic Mario, we've got Supersonic coming up with Super Mario Bros. 3 Warpless. So if that's one of your favorite Mario games, like it is for me, you want to definitely stick around for that. And of course, while we're on our break, you can go to GameStuckQuick.com/hotfix and check out this season's lineup and check out the schedule for an in-depth look at all of our runs that are coming up. So I'll see you on the other side in just a few minutes. Hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 40 of Passion Project. We are the best place on Twitch to show the world what you love the most in speedrunning and gaming, and also to show the world how bad I am at the English language. I am joined by the wonderful Supersonic, as he's going to be showcasing Super Mario Bros. 3 Warpless Any %. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Super Mario Bros. 3 is a very personal favorite old game of mine. I grew up with it. It and Sonic 2 were my first 2 games as a kid, so very excited about this. And if you missed out on that Bubsia run earlier, you gotta go back and watch it after this run. Like, go back and watch it. It's great. Absolutely incredible run. So, I just want to remind everyone as well that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, your gift subs, and your bits cheered here on the GDQ Twitch channel do help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. So if you enjoy watching speedruns or enjoy watching me flub with the English language, you should consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes and have ad-free viewing and chat with other subscribers during our replays. So, Supersonic, thank you so much for being here tonight and for being willing to run Super Mario Bros. 3.
I'm doing just
How are
dandy,
you
but I
doing?
think that flubbed intro made things so much better for me.
I mean, if that is going to be an indicator for how the rest of this night is going to go, I don't know what is.
Oh, it's absolutely perfect because, you know, I'm sure a lot of us may have seen Super Mario Brothers 3 before. This is actually like one of my, I guess, semi-decent games that I usually run at because I do run like Mario 1 and Mario 2 Lost Levels pretty frequently. But Mario 3 is actually one of my favorite Mario games of all time. And yeah, even though I am called Supersonic, I do speedrun Sonic games as well. But for Passion Project, this is actually another passion that I usually do is do Mario speedruns. So this is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing 80% warpless. We're going to be going through every world in the game, but we're not going to be playing every single level in the game. We're just going to be going through like the fastest route that there is. So yeah, I hope you all buckle in for the ride. It's going to be a very long run, and a lot of these levels are very short, so if you blink, you might miss it. So
Oh yeah, that is the nature of this game. This game is great.
yeah, I love this game. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started here. Let me just do a quick reset here. And we'll go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, have fun.
Thank you. All right, so 1-1. We got a piranha plant that we got to jump over, and usually I would run into it and end up dying at the very start of the game. But thankfully that did not happen, so we're on a good start here. And of course, one of the major differences in this game compared to like the first couple Mario games is we have P speed, or as they call it, power speed. So as you see on the bottom of your screen, there are 6 triangles with the letter P at the end. We're trying to build up each triangle by staying on the ground and trying to build up our speed here. The way how the game checks P speed is every other frame that Mario is on the ground. So sometimes if I'm not on the ground, like if there's like a gap or something like that, then the triangle will not light up. So we just got to make sure that we're pretty much running on solid ground as much as we can. So that's like one of the major things about this. Another thing is when you hold the jump button on the enemy, you can actually bounce up a little higher. I did not get P speed there, unfortunately, but that's okay. We can still get a little bit of backup here. Watch out for the colorful waffles. I'm not really sure what those are called, but we're just going to call them waffles.
They kind of do look like waffles, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, let me tell you.
You see food in everything.
I see food everywhere. This game is no different. As you may have saw with the lava, it looks like ragu sauce to me.
Oh my goodness. We're already in the giggle zone.
Yeah, we can already tell how this run is gonna go because I'm already thinking about food, but I already had dinner already, so it's totally fine.
Danger waffles, I like that. Not just colorful waffles, danger waffles.
Okay, I do like that. I do like the danger waffles, so that is definitely appropriate for this one because they are very colorful. I'm assuming there are strobe lights in the game, but they look like waffles. Let's face it. And yeah, we got the ragu sauce, and wait till I get the fire flower, then you will see even more food shenanigans from me. But in this case, we got this, oh, we got the gap there. I didn't quite read the P speed there. We're just going to try to go back and try to build it up real quick if we can. There we go. Only bad part is this Koopa may not be in the right spot, and I had to do that jump blindly because the camera was already panned up.
Yeah, no, that's a rough jump. I learned that jump years ago. That jump is not a fun jump.
Yeah, that is by far my least favorite level in World 1. And luckily, the bro stayed where I wanted him to be, so there are these special tiles that the bros can stay on, and they can actually spawn items for us. In this case, we got the fire flower, or as I like to call the chopped onion. And now we got...
You're not the only one who thought that, by the way. I think for some reason, I think I thought that as a kid, too.
Thank goodness I'm not the only one that thought that.
It really does look like an onion slice.
Oh my gosh. So here we are in the airship, or as the cartoon The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3 calls it, a doom ship. So this is pretty much like the end of each world. We go onto this auto-scroller, and there is actually the Speedrunners edition version of this game, which is like a hack that removes all of the auto-scrollers in the game. But in this case, we are playing a vanilla on the Nintendo Entertainment System, or in this case for me, I'm playing on the AV Famicom. With a cartridge converter to have Famicom to NES carts being played on this. So it pretty much plays the same. There are like no differences in terms of like frame rate or anything like that. It's like all practically the same. Well, now we got our first Koopaling here. I keep forgetting their names because there's like so many of them, and it's hard to keep track of what they're called. So
I don't remember which one is which in Mario 3 for certain ones. Like, I don't know who's Iggy, for example. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure if I saw the sprite, I'd be like, yeah, that's definitely Iggy. But I feel like most of their visual identity for certain ones don't really become clear until you have, like, Ludwig, Morton, Roy, or until Super Mario World. Or even, of course, there's, Wendy O. Koopa.
Yep, that's right. Normally you could shoot down the Koopas with 10 fireballs, but the hitboxes are very finicky in this game. And there are some certain patterns that a lot of the runners do look for to get those fire kills, but I am not too practiced on that, so I just stomp on them 3 times, and that's like the easiest way to do it. Also, yeah, even like regarding hitboxes as well, like if you have like a very strange landing on a corner, the enemy will end up having a priority over you. So he'll just end up taking damage instead of like stomping on the enemy. So it's kind of weird with the hitboxes in this game, but hopefully that won't happen to us here. And yeah, so now we're in the desert world. So there's a Hammer Brother right there. I believe that one's carrying the music box. We're gonna try to avoid that one as best as we can.
Oh, I forgot Larry exists as a Koopaling.
Yep.
Like, I remember Lemmy, I remember Iggy. It's like, who's Larry? It's the most forgettable name there.
Yeah, and then there's like Lemmy on there as well. I think they're all based off of like rock and roll names, if I remember correctly.
Or various music composers, because Ludwig is obviously Ludwig Beethoven.
Yeah, that's right. Oh,
I remember chat. This may date me a little here, as I'm turning 32 in a couple of months here. Actually, in exactly 2 months. I had a choose your own adventure like book for like the Mario series, and I had one that specifically had Princess Peach would put on like she ended up trapped with like a pair of basketball sneakers that forced her to play basketball forever. But also for some reason Ludwig was the main antagonist and his music was awful, and the reason his music was awful was because he was hard of hearing or something. I can't remember, but if anyone had these like chapter books which were like, you know, if you do this, turn to this page, or if you do that, turn to this other page, and you could game over in the book and be forced to turn back to things, like, please tell me if anyone else had any of those books, like that I'm not hallucinating them.
I feel like I have heard of them before, and I'm gonna be 38 in a couple months, so it's like I should know this, but it's not like ringing the bell to me. Although I may recognize what you're talking about, though.
I think they were called Nintendo Adventure books.
Maybe, yeah.
And I'm trying to find the one that I had. I had Pipe Down. That's what it was. I had yeah, it's here on the Mario Wiki here. Yeah, it was the Nintendo Adventure series book. And there were a bunch of Mario ones, and I had the Pipe Down one. Oh my goodness, okay, I'm glad I didn't hallucinate this.
Yeah, it's like I had a feeling I do recall something like that, but I just didn't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, that bro is down there, so I'm gonna take 2-5 as a detour. Normally I would play 2-4, because that is a faster level. But since the bro is on the bottom of the map, we just gotta go follow the bro. Oops, that's okay. Had a few mishaps with the power-ups there, but we should be fine. Oh yeah, and every time we get like 3 cards on the bottom right, it'll give us a 1-up. If we end up matching 3 of like either the mushroom or fire flower or even the star, it'll give us like 2, 3, and 5 ups respectively. So we don't want to do that because that does end up costing time, even if we do get extra lives from those. So we're going to be avoiding those as much as we can and just try to get like a 1-up in each one, because that doesn't really cost any time. So here in the pyramid, I got to get the mushroom back because we had some unfortunate hits in the beginning of this world. And okay, I don't know how that hit me, but I gotta play this a little safe now. Okay, let's see what we can do with this Buzzy Beetle here. Yeah,
Oh.
that's fine.
Oh! Sorry, that gave me anxiety there. Don't die to the... Okay. was like, don't die to the boomerang, brother, please.
That was the one thing I was kind of worried about, but thankfully that did not happen, so we are totally fine on that. Alright, so just like that, we're in the second airship coming up here. This may not be food related, this is more like, well, actually you can see the firefly right there. You can see like the chopped onion on that.
Oh, yeah.
This, on the other hand, we have like this minty green doom ship here. I like to call this like the Aquafresh or the, like, I don't know, Crest or Colgate, like toothpaste.
The toothpaste ship.
This is a toothpaste ship right here. A very minty flavor.
I mean, after you eat your chopped onion, you've got to, you know, brush your teeth big time.
Oh yeah, don't want to have that onion breath. Alright, we got our mushroom back. Yeah, usually with the mushroom, once you uncover it from the block, it can either go one direction or the other. If you're trying to go towards it, the mushroom will go on the opposite direction of you. So you can pretty much grab it as soon as you uncover it from the block, which we like to call fast grab. So you can actually like clip inside the block and then grab the power up right before animation completes. So there will be some instances that we will try to do that, especially like later in the run if we need to grab power-ups. But since we don't have fire with us, we're just going to be stomping on Morton here. We'll just do that 3 times, and then we're going to be grabbing the wand. And you may notice that I don't actually jump up to grab the wand. We just stay on the ground to grab it. Because if we end up grabbing it from the air, then the amount of time that it takes Mario to come down to the bottom of the screen will take a few more seconds. So that's why we just kind of stay like on the ground as much as we can for that.
Also, Chad, I just want to say I appreciate y'all sharing your memories if you had any of those Choose Your Own or Nintendo Adventure Series books or anything like it. I know that Sonic had a couple that weren't Nintendo series, but like Sonic had some novels like that. I want to prompt all of you, or if you're happening to watch this VOD on the YouTube channel, I want to know what are some of your favorite obscure Nintendo memories, or if you had like obscure Nintendo products, or even just your favorite memory with a classic Nintendo product. I would love to hear your stories. So drop them in the comments, drop them in the chat. And Supersonic, did you have anything like that growing up? Like where I had the weird Nintendo Adventure Series book I remember getting at like a church flea market. Did you have anything like that?
So I remember they had like that cereal for Nintendo. It was like Mario and Zelda, like half and half in the box. That was like one thing I remember. And then when I used to go to like elementary school, I actually had a lunch pail that had like Mario on it, like a thermos sick with Mario. So I was like a Mario kid at the time. And then like I don't know, it's like mostly like when I started playing Mario games, I actually started playing video games when I was 2.
Same.
Yeah, so my dad taught me how to play Mario, and my mom taught me how to play Duck Hunt. Because we had that Mario 1 and Duck Hunt combo cartridge.
Yeah.
So, yeah, both of my parents played video games, and that's how I got into it. And then when we got Mario 3, which became my favorite Mario game, that's when I started to see food. I was like, what, 4 years old when the game came out? 3 or 4 years old. So that's when I started seeing that, and then I just remember my dad looking at me, he's like, "Are you okay, son?" I'm like, "Why are you seeing food here?" And I just told him, like, look at Fire Mario, for example. He looks like a chicken nugget covered in marinara sauce. Like,
okay, I see buffalo sauce here. We've had this discussion, I'm pretty sure.
I think we did, yeah. So, I don't know. It could be any kind of sauce, whatever you can think of. I don't think it's ketchup, because I think ketchup is like a darker color of that.
Ketchup is definitely a darker red, but like I have buffalo sauce in my fridge that I've been putting on like anything chicken related. Yeah. And it is definitely that shade of orange.
Yeah, so like you can see the like his hat and then like his long sleeve shirt, that's like the crust of the chicken nugget. And then like his face and then the hands, that's like the meat of the chicken nugget. And then of course like the overalls are like the sauce. So it's like a literal chicken nugget. Like, I even have an emote of that, too. I just remember one of my mods actually made that emote for me, and I was like, yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly how I envisioned it. So, but yeah. I mean, I had such a very interesting imagination as a child, and it kind of carried over into my adult life. Oh, I did not get speed there. That's okay. We should be able to back this up here. We'll just do a slide, and then build up speed here, and then we should be fine. just gotta be careful I don't fall in the pit here, because that can happen sometimes. And we'll just get rid of Lucky too, because of why not. Yeah,
do you mind
there's
if I
the emote
share
right
some
there.
of these? Do you mind if I share some of the memories in chat?
Yes, of
The
course.
folks' stories.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
fellow Hotfix host who hosts Out of the Box, a teacher, says, my first word was Nintendo, according to my parents. Someone else in chat says, I was a kid with a babysitter playing Mario 3 before eating cheese macaroni for dinner. And I misread this one at first, and that'll bring up another story of, like, weird things my mom and I would say, because, like, we didn't really understand gaming terminology, but loved video games. My oldest brother broke his arm, giving me the best summer of my life because my parents rented an N64 from Blockbuster, which, by the way, I remember Blockbuster, and we played
Same.
Mario Kart. I don't remember renting entire consoles from them, but I remember renting their games a lot. But when I read broke his arm, I read broke the game, because when my mom would beat a game, she thought she not broke it as in like it was unplayable after that, but it was just like, instead of beating the game, you broke the game. And I, like, that was the term we used for a long time. Eventually I learned it was beat the game, not break the game. Someone had a Virtual Boy that they bought off a friend in 6th grade for like $30 and thought it was kind of cool, but did lose interest shortly after with a library of what? One game? Like, how could you not, you know?
Just about, yeah.
And, where else? First game I played was Pokemon Yellow, but I couldn't read, so we stumbled through it blindly. I actually know of a, Pokemon Yellow challenge runner, solo challenge runner, who was the exact same situation where he had, like, the Gen 1 Pokemon games and just did not know how to read, so just kind of, like, went with, like, whatever looked cool based on the animations and stuff. Someone talking about how they had a collection of Mario, Zelda, and Captain N comics based on the TV shows. I know someone who loves Captain N, and that's a very obscure, like, deep cut there.
Oh, yeah. I remember watching, like, those older cartoons, like, well, excuse me, princess. Especially, like, Zelda, because that's, like, one of my favorite cartoons.
One of these days, like, I think I have the entire Super Mario Bros. 3 collection on DVD. Because I remember being in school and, like, I think every month someone got to pick a movie for the class to watch. And I saw that and I was like, we're watching this. And it was, like, an episode based on World 3, which we're, gonna be going into... No, we're in the boss 4 right now, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. World 3 flew by.
Okay. That's the only fire kill I know how to do is against Wendy, because it's pretty much like a plain, you know, flat level ground, and although the rings are kind of floating around while she's kind of, you know, charging at us, as I mentioned before, hitboxes are kind of finicky, so I had to shoot the fireballs a little quicker than usual, but you can only have 2 fireballs on the screen at the time, so I had to, like, kind of time it a little bit while turning back and then shooting, going backwards, so that was kind of a nice fire kill though. And now we're heading into Giant World coming up next, which is actually my favorite world personally.
Someone else in chat says, to save for the SNES, they sold their old NES and games to a hospital because they'd been in the hospital as a kid and thought it could help other kids. And I think I started that trend of having games for hospital kids in my hometown. I felt good and thought I did good and got a SNES. I did miss my NES though. Like, honestly, that is a really kind thing for you to do. And I can confirm, like, while I didn't have that experience, I know people who did, who got to have access to video games in the hospital, and I think that's a genuinely incredible thing, and it really helps in a rough situation like that for kids.
Yeah, that actually brought up a memory for me too, because there was a time when I was 4 years old. I was in the hospital for like a month because I had like low hemoglobin levels or something like that. And I just remember I was sharing a room with a kid, and they had like the giant brick Game Boy, like the humongous one.
Oh yeah.
And that was like the first time I ever experienced Tetris on that thing. And
Oh yeah.
I just remember, like, after that, I wanted to get a Game Boy because I figured, you know, it would be pretty nice just to kind of go to places, and if you're like kind of sitting in the car doing nothing, then you could just kind of pull out a Game Boy, just play a game. And I ended up getting one, like, I want to say maybe 10 years later. No, not even. maybe like 7 or 8 years later. I don't remember. It was whenever I was like in 6th grade. So I ended up getting like the Atomic Purple Game Boy because I won a spelling bee in my class.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's like, and like the winning word was yacht. And I don't think the other person knew how to spell it, so I ended up getting it. And then I just remember, like, my dad took me to Toys R Us at the time and got me the Game Boy, and my first game was Super Mario Land. So it kind of stayed within the Mario realm every time I get a Nintendo console. Although the one console I did not own as a kid was Super Nintendo. I actually had a Sega Genesis as a kid.
Yeah. I grew up with
is-
NES and Genesis, and a very short-lived SNES that my mom had left on during a Thunder and Lightning storm, and it got fried.
Oh, no.
We did get to experience some cool titles, like Yoshi's Island, and I remember a Pinocchio game on the SNES, and going back to Blockbuster, there was a game that, I know it's been on mainline stage, but I would love to have it on the show someday. Artie Lightfoot is a really obscure platformer. And we rented it for like 2 months straight from Blockbuster because I wanted to beat it and I couldn't. And eventually, like, my mom had my dad finally return it so we could play literally anything else. But if you are a person who runs Artie Lightfoot out there, let me know, hit me up. I would love to have that game on Passion Project. I've never seen the end of it. So please submit it. Or if you know someone who runs Artie Lightfoot, that would be cool.
Definitely. Yeah, that's really cool though. Like there was an obscure game like that. Also, the bros are not behaving.
They're not.
I needed to grab the. That's the P-wing. I hope the other bro just kind of goes away.
He'll walk right on you, calling it now.
Of course he did.
Yep. That's how it always goes.
Yep. So we have to get the star, unfortunately. So what I'm gonna be doing in World 5, because like the first couple bros in that world are like the P-wing and the star. I'm gonna put them to sleep with the music box, and it'll keep them asleep for a couple turns. So that way I don't have to get some extra items in my inventory. All right. So now we got this section here.
So, what is your history with speedrunning the classic Mario games? Because I know you run SMB1, you run SMB2 Lost Levels, and you run this. Have you ever run SM2 USA?
I have, and I'm actually very terrible at it.
It's not an easy run, to be fair.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Oh, there's a Dino Nuggy right there.
Oh, yes.
Had to point that out. But yes, I actually did speedrun Super Mario Brothers 2, which I like to call the vegetable one, because, you know, you pull out vegetables, you toss them and all that. Pretty much a good segue into that, because we are at the very slowest autoscroller in this world here, because
This
it
one
moves
crawls.
it moves at a blistering 15 pixels per second. Blistering.
Wow.
That's how fast it is. 15 pixels.
No blast processing here, that's for sure.
That's why the Genesis got that part right. They had the blast processing. So, but yeah, normally with airships, I think they generally move at 30 pixels per second, and then there's like the fast airship towards the end of the game that moves at 60. So it kind of just doubles up from there.
Yeah, that one gives me anxiety.
Yeah. What was I talking about again?
We were
Super Mario
talking
2.
about Super Mario 2 USA.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, so I remember learning it back in, I want to say 2016 or 2017, just for fun. And I remember Darbian, one of the like top Mario runners, like around that time, he came up with an idea called the Mario Hour Challenge. And what that is, you have 6 Mario games. You do the any percent categories for each Mario game. So it's Mario 1, Lost Levels, the Vegetable one, Mario 3, Mario World, and Mario 64.
2 USA is just that vegetable one.
It's the vegetable one, yeah. So, yeah, you have those 6 games. So I was planning to learn how to run the Mario Hour Challenge, but the one game that kind of held me back, which is the game that we saw earlier, Mario 64. The 1-star category, you got to do like the BLJs, backwards long jumps, and I couldn't do the first 2 of them, but I could do the last 2. So that was like the one game that kind of held me back in learning that challenge. But when I learned the vegetable one at the time, I think like
Disrespect. Oh my god.
that's how I remember it though, because
You're not wrong. I thought that game was a fever dream as a kid, okay? I know I played it on the NES very briefly, and it wasn't until it came out as Super Mario Advance with the remake of it. It wasn't until it came out as Super Mario Advance that I was like, oh my god, I wasn't hallucinating that game as a kid. It was real. Because it was so strange.
Yeah, and I mean, Mario was dreaming the entire game this whole time. So he was dreaming about Doki Doki Panic, which was released on the Famicom. So, you know, it made sense. It was like a fever dream because it pretty much is. So I was learning that game, and I think my first time on it was like a 13 something, and like world record was like around the 8-minute mark at the time. So I was like really behind. And that game is, for me personally, it was genuinely difficult because you only have like 2 continues in the game. And when you end up like dying, like let's say for example 6-3, it'll take you back to 6-1. So the continue system was a little rough on that aspect, and it took me a good bit to learn the game properly. I do want to come back to it someday and actually get like a sub 10-minute time at least, because my current PB is like at 11:30, and I haven't touched the game in like 5 years. So that's like the one game I pretty much stayed away from for like a good while.
You know what? My partner TGH, you know Jay. He he ran SMB2 briefly. He ran all levels and any percent. And if you want to go back to that game, if you want some motivation, because he wasn't great at SMB2, he picked it up just like you for fun, for a fun run, right? Just something different. His any percent time is an 8:59, and his all levels is a 22:56, and this was 3 years ago. So if you wanted to, like, incite some friendly competition, if that's your motivation for speedrunning, go see if you can go beat his time someday.
Do it.
I
He
heard
just
him.
yelled, "Do it, Bop me," over Discord.
I just heard him through that. I'll give it a try. Like I'll come back to it someday, and then we'll see if we can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually like when it comes to Mario games, like we did mention it earlier that I do run Mario 1 and Lost Levels, also like pretty much my bread and butter for Mario games. As far as Mario 3 goes, there's actually a cool story regarding like this category in particular. In SGDQ 2017, we had the Warpless Relay Race with myself and like 14 other runners.
Right.
And I ran Lost Levels for that section, and I was the only one that ran it on Famicom Disk System because I absolutely despise the All-Stars version. So I was the only one on the FDS, and Darbian and Raikouretter were both on the Super Nintendo. So there was like a slight difference seeing those, like that game in particular. And after the run finished, I had a conversation with Kirua, who's like one of the, you know, legendary Mario 3 runners out there. And we had a conversation together, and he was like telling me that he would learn SMB1 any percent if I ran SMB3 Warpless.
Okay.
So we ended up doing that, and then we both had our individual goals. Like he wanted to get the sub 5 and any percent, and I wanted to get the sub 1 hour in this game. So I think it took about a few months. He ended up getting the sub 5, and I ended up getting the sub 1 hour. So the motivation for me to run this game was because of Kirua. So
that's really
how
cool.
that's how I started running this game in particular. As far as like the other games go, like Mario 1, that pretty much put me on the map on speedrunning when I got my first sub 5 back in December 1st of 2016. I still remember that date very vividly. That's like one of my most like profound memories that I have on speedrunning. And I just remember like that pretty much, I guess, validated me as a speedrunner, because I was still like a rookie at the time. I started in 2016, and it took me like a few months just to get that sub 5. And then after that happened, that's when everything started to snowball for me. Like I had my very first live marathon run at Calithon in 2017, and against Darbian, nonetheless. We raced like 3 different Mario games together. Oops, I jumped a little early on that. Fell into the ragu.
So does losing Fire Mario really throw it off here? Or are you okay with Small Mario?
I can still get the mushroom back here, but it is going to be a little tricky because there's like, you know, we got like the Podoboos kind of on the ceiling there.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I would making the speedrunner noises for you.
Yeah, like I would like to talk to Bowser's architect here, just to kind of know how did they even manage to get the lava up in the ceiling like that. You know, especially with gravity and everything. They're pretty impressive, I would say.
It's funny how you talk about your history with this. So back in 2011 when I picked up Sonic Adventure 2, and that was my first serious speedrun, I actually used SMB3 Beat World 4 Warpless as my warm-up category. So I did learn a little bit of the speedrun, just enough to be able to, like, you know, replay a game that was fairly quick up to the first half, because I'm gonna be real. This game falls off. I've 100%ed this game a lot, casually. Anything after World 4, I am deeply unhappy with. Like, just some of the levels troll you a lot in Worlds 5, 6, 7, and 8. And it's gotten easier over the years, but like I was just like, I am cool just doing up to World 4, and I use that as like a Speedruns Live race category with a couple of friends just to like get us warmed up for what we were actually going to run, and I thought that was really cool.
Oh yeah.
And it's just I just remember playing the game on my PSP. Yes, you heard me right. Just like trying to learn really difficult jumps. In World 1, for example, like the one where you had to run back and forth. I forget which level it is, but it's one where you were trying to build up P-speed and hit the Koopa and be able to progress. It's like
that's
with
1.6.
the wire platforms. Yeah, 1.6. But yeah, like that was my brief Mario speedrunning experience. And I had fun with it. It was like a really cool, just beginner-friendly kind of like half-game category to like have an excuse to replay the part of the game I really, really liked. It's like Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Like I if I'm gonna replay the game, I tend to just go straight to Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I'm also like one of the 3 people on this earth who like Sandopolis. But someone else says that they remember that their mom got them a red box disc of the old Super Mario Brothers animated series for them to watch when they were sick. And they were like, I don't know if you've ever watched something while you have a fever, but it's a surreal experience. Funny story, I know exactly what that feels like, because I do remember one year I got very sick on Christmas with like stomach flu for a couple of days, and I had a really bad fever during that time. But during that time is when we still had cable. And I forget which channel it would do this, but they would do like a 24-hour marathon, like just on repeat of A Christmas Story, which is like with the main character's name is Ralphie, pink bunny suit, Red Ryder BB gun. If y'all have ever seen it, you'll know it. But there's just like, I woke up, like I had that playing on my TV when I was like sleeping and sick, and every time I woke up, like almost every hour or so, like no lie, it was just always at the scene where like the school bully was chasing the boys through the alleyway and stuff. And it was just like so surreal, just waking up in a fevered state for that. So I know exactly what that feels like. Don't try to watch things when you have a fever, folks. It is or maybe try it. Like, it's maybe you'll have like some sort of breakthrough. I just like, I don't know. I just remember like a friend of mine being really sick and having a fever, and we played competitive card games at the time, and he had a fever dream, a literal fever dream about a really good deck for the game we were playing. And he woke up, wrote it down, and it ended up winning like the national championships like later that year.
Oh wow.
It was really, really funny.
That's amazing.
Shoutouts to my friend Nico. He doesn't watch Games Done Quick, but if he did, he'd know exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, be sure to drink your Ovaltine. At least
Yep.
someone else knows what I'm talking about when I say A Christmas Story.
Ironically enough, I did watch that movie this past Christmas with one of my mods, and
Nice.
yeah, that film is hilarious. I loved it.
It's a classic. It's great.
So good. Ovaltine and then like getting the BB guns, like you'll shoot your eye out.
And it's like, spoilers, you did.
Oh my god. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be like a good Christmas tradition just to watch that movie in general. So.
Yeah, that was the Christmas tradition for me and my family, was watching that, or the 30 days of Christmas or whatever, the 24 days of Christmas, where they would like just the stop motion claymation or like puppets. I forget the name of the producers of those films, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Year Without a Santa Claus, Jack Frost, etc. Like, just all those movies would be on, like, I think it was like TBS or something here in the States. I can't remember, but they just did a like 24-day like marathon of those movies, and I just like loved them. I hate this level, by the way.
Yeah.
I hate this level so much. There is a speedrun happening here, and I hate this level so much. Yeah, Rankin Bass, the Rankin Bass films. Thank you.
Yeah, I was trying to use the P-Wing to get a despawn on one of the enemies up top, but I didn't quite get that properly, so had to go back and grab the leaf. Where's my hammer? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna try to avoid that bro that's kind of sitting right there. Sometimes this flight can be a little scary. Nah, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna take it this route here.
Yeah.
That bonk kind of messed up my flight rhythm there, so that's okay. We'll just be able to kind of go through here.
Go through the intended path.
Yeah. Gotta take it as intended, as it's by design. Whoa, wait, wrong video game. No.
Yeah, not Sonic 3 and Knuckles here. Also, yes, Heat Miser and Snow Miser, like, I will sing that song unironically, like, around Christmas time, or not even around Christmas time, let me be honest. Like, if it pops in my head, it's just like, ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-dum. And I'm just like, yep, nope, here we go. Like, the second that even enters my brain, I'm just singing it to myself.
Oh my gosh.
Can we get a speedrunner edition of Heat Miser, Snow Miser? Like, can someone write those lyrics? Like, I'm Mr. Speed Miser, I'm Mr. Fast.
That would be incredible, actually. I would like to see that.
It would be great. Get a tea tree to sing one of them.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, why not? Oh my goodness.
Chat, I know we're not talking a lot about the game, and we're sharing a lot of old gaming memories, or sometimes not gaming memories, but, like, thank you for being here and chilling with us while we do this. These are some of my, like, favorite shows, or showcases to be able to kick back and, like, chat about, like, our favorite gaming memories, because, like, or just childhood memories, because, like, nostalgia is a very, very big, driving factor for me with SMB3. Like, when, like, Supersonic was like, I was like, hey, I've got Bubsy for Super Mario 64 70-star Blindfolded, and I want a classic Mario with this. Can you, like, do you got me, Supersonic? And he was like, yeah, I can run SMB 1, 2 Lost Levels, or 3. And I was like, I love 3, let's do 3. Like, that's the one I can chat the most about. And we've barely chatted about it.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I just enjoy these kind of conversations because I'm sure a lot of us may have seen the speedrun like so many times. We've like, you know, heard commentary about it. It's just nice to kind of just chill, kick back, you know, while watching a video game that I kind of talk about here and there. But, you know, we always have memories about various things like, you know, with the past and, you know, me talking about food. I mean, I don't know what this color would be like. It's like blue. So I'm thinking spearmint, probably like double mint gum.
Yeah, it's not light enough to be Whooper blue. It's not as like light as your shirt, so
yeah,
it's not Whooper blue.
It's not this, unfortunately. So
the nuts and bolts that you have to like travel with, those are closer to Whooper blue though.
They are actually, yeah. And very easy to fall off if you don't. Oh, okay, I can do nothing for 15 seconds.
Nice clip.
So yeah, we're just pretty much avoiding all the bottom section here with all the flamethrowers.
Yeah, this part genuinely is just not fun to play with.
Yeah.
So it is Gatorade blue. It is the blue. It's Cobalt blue Gatorade.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we got some good blue shades in there. Also, that you see this little like empty space. Oh, now you probably can't see. Oh, there it is, right there. That bothered me so much as a kid. I'm like, why is there an empty space there?
I never noticed it until now, and now it bothers me.
I'm like, what were they
I didn't know you
thinking
could
with
jump
that?
on those balls. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely do that. Oh yeah, just like that, we're heading into World 7, by the way.
Yeah, if this is your first time watching the GDQ channel outside of mainline GDQ, welcome. This is Hotfix. We are a really great, nearly daily speedrun like set of shows. If you don't know anything about us, go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. You can learn all about our different shows. My show in particular, this is Passion Project. We're a speedrunning and gaming variety show that encourages everyone out there in the speedrunning and wider gaming communities to showcase your passions. We had Bubsia, which is the literal definition of Passion Project, showcasing Blindfolded Super Mario 64. And I know Supersonic here, like, the Sonic and Mario series are, like, his big passion projects. Like, he loves these games. And yes, the first rule of Hotfix is tell all your friends about Hotfix. A T-Tree in the chat, who's one of our mods, is also one of our showrunners, and they host Out of the Box on the week opposite of mine, every other Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And their show is really neat because it's brand new, and it shows off runs that you can pick up with, like, basically no extra setup needed. So, like, no third-party programs, no, like, special equipment, nothing like that. It is the way to be able to pick up a game and just run with it, because the way they got into speedrunning is through games that either have a brand new route developing, or they pick up games that basically you could just pick up and run. They run a lot of roguelikes, some beat-em-ups. Their very first run was a beat-em-up. So, like, they have a really cool history, but they haven't been around as long as, like, Supersonic or myself. So there is still definitely a great gateway into getting into speedrunning and, like, games that require, like, no setup. Like, Super Mario Bros. 3 is also one of those games that qualify for out of the box. You could just pick up and run it. Like, just start learning the run. And if you've ever seen, like, speedruns and thought, I can't do that, well, yes, you can. Like, you literally can, even if you don't want to learn the entire game, you can run a couple of individual levels that really tickle your fancy. Or you can find other meaningful ways to contribute, whether it's through participating in events, or helping other people route the game, or find optimizations or new routes, or find new glitches. There are tons of things that you can do to get into speedrunning, even if it is not directly speedrunning a full game like this.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
Definitely give it some consideration if you've ever even remotely thought about picking up a new hobby, because you are worth the time it takes to learn a new hobby.
Yeah, I actually did saw it's something in chat regarding my name, Supersonic, and I'm running a Mario game and I'm wearing a Luigi hat. So, about that. So as you know, we've been kind of touching upon it. I did start off as a Mario runner back in 2016, so that's where the Super comes from. Even though technically it does come from Supersonic from Sonic 2 when he made his appearance there, but it kind of altered the story a little bit in terms of, like, the origins of my name. So the Super comes from Super Mario Brothers. The Sonic comes from Sonic the Hedgehog. So I started running Sonic games in 2017. Like, I started with Sonic 1. Glitchless, and then, like, Sonic 2, and then Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So that's where the mishmash comes from with my game, my name, Supersonic. So yeah, I run both Mario and Sonic, and I know there's, like, some other people that do actually run Mario and Sonic games out there. So it's kind of nice to see, like, the different variations of what games people run these days. Ooh, I almost got hit by that.
Ooh!
So,
That was
yeah.
spicy.
I was very close, so thankfully we did not get hit there. So I did grab the hammer suit there. I don't expect to keep it, to be honest, but we'll try our best to kind of carry it over to, like, as far as we can. But yeah, so that's, like, the origins of my name. And also, like, I do run other retro games as well, like anything
You run
on
some
the
Zelda.
Yeah, I ran Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. That's, like, my favorite Zelda game. Even
That's
though
a great Zelda speedrun. Like, even if it's not your favorite Zelda game, like, it is actually genuinely a really fun speedrun, and the music is banger.
I agree, 100%. Like I consider it like one of the black sheep games of the series, because of like how the difficulty is and like the different play style. Because you got the top-down view for like the overworld, and it switches into the side-scrolling sections. I thought that was very unique for the game, and even though it may seem very difficult to play casually, I honestly think it's a very better experience to play it as a speed run. Like the 100% all keys category. It is like about an hour and a half run, but it just genuinely feels like you can play the video game like at a pretty fast pace. So yeah, so I run Zelda. I also ran Animaniacs on the Sega Genesis.
Yep.
I ran like various NES games like Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, DuckTales, Ninja Gaiden 2 on the NES. What else did I run? I think I run like Mega Man. I ran Mega Man 2 before. Oh wait, did not mean to grab that.
Do you need me to go find your SRC profile?
Yeah, there was like a bunch of games that I run on there, but the majority of them are like Mario and Sonic. So, but I did definitely put a lot of hours into the Mario games mostly, and then eventually like kind of trickled down to Sonic. But
It is not the right Supersonic on. What Supersonic are you on speedrun.com?
I'm actually the one that's without the underscore.
Wow. Oh yeah, so you are. Okay, so someone had asked me. There's a couple of things I want to address in chat real quick. One person asked, where did the underscore come from? His username used to be Supersonic 071087 or 71087, and that's his birthday.
Yeah.
And eventually, when he became Twitch partner, he got to change his name. So, you try getting the name Supersonic without an underscore on Twitch.
Yeah, I
won't
tried.
happen. You were very lucky to only have one underscore because poor TGH can't get more than less than 9 or something.
Oh, no.
That's why he's still TGH underscore SR, but for speedrun, and everyone thinks it's senior. But someone says, I've been binging Frost Fatale's runs, and now I want to speedrun. The question is, which game? So, the way, what works best for you is going to be unique to you, but some pieces of advice when trying to find the right thing for you, is, a game that you have a lot of casual knowledge about, which, I chose, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, was my favorite game of all time, my favorite 3D Sonic, and I had so much casual knowledge, and I was like, I'm gonna start with my casual knowledge from the game and just try to play my casual routing really fast, and then I'm gonna start learning from the world record or learning from other runners, and that was the way I started speedrunning. And I learned best by, doing what I already know from the game very, very, quickly, and then trying to optimize that or trying to learn things from other people. And then, another way you can go about it is, some people really like speedrunning games that are brand new and don't have a route yet, and being part of that developing route or the blossoming community phase is, sometimes that's the big motivator for some people, and it is definitely a very different experience, when everyone's strat hunting and trying to see how to crack a game wide open, if it can be cracked wide open. So, games that have very either brand new games or old games that have no attention or no leaderboards, those are really fun things to learn. Like a T-Tree and I run Ricky and Vicky, where there was previously only one co-op, pair running the full game run, and we learned a little bit from them, but we've been, creating our own strats and our own routes from level to level to improve the run, and, that run has gone down over 10 minutes since we picked up the game. So, those are my two pieces of advice, is, giving that a shot. You can also take a look at things that the new Hotfix show Out of the Box would, run, or you can take a look at past shows, that have retired, called The First Step. You could check that out on our YouTube, where they have, done a lot of, blind, unrouted races with each other, games that they've only done a casual playthrough of, and then, just finding a friend and trying to race, just using friendly competition as a motivator. You don't have to do what everyone else does. So, I suggest going with games that you know very well, just as a starting point, but you can also pick something that, just looks really cool to you, and you're like, okay, I want to go into this with a casual speedrun with the intention of learning it, like trying to like figure out a speedrun route for it. And that's a way to approach it as well. So like definitely different ways to get into it. Supersonic, like you've talked about how you've gotten into this, like what inspired you to start speedrunning? Like how did you get there?
So the way I got inspired, well, it's actually kind of a funny story with that. One of my friends, Red Ninja Josh, who was a former speedrunner at the time, he actually kept pestering me to race him in something. He was like, oh, let's race Aladdin on the Genesis, or let's race like Mega Man 2, or let's race something, you know? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that, because I wasn't sure at the time if I could actually do this thing. So eventually I caved in, and I was like, all right, Josh, I'll take you up on your offer. Let's race something. So the first game we actually raced together was Mega Man 2. And I genuinely had a fun time. Like, I was like, hey, this speedrunning thing is actually really cool. But I don't think Mega Man 2 is exactly for me. So that's when I was like trying to search for a game that I feel like I could actually speedrun. And then that's when I thought to myself, like, hey, you know what? I have like a lot of years of experience with the Mario games and the Sonic games. Let's try these out. You know, it's like, you know, they're both games that I played so much as a kid, and you know, like I genuinely like them a lot. So I feel like when you have a game that you really enjoy, because you're going to be playing it a ton, like, you know, just going through attempts and everything, I just decided to just stick with those games that I played, you know, for like the longest time. And you know, it's something that I genuinely enjoy, just so I don't get burnt out from it. And of course, there will be times where we do experience burnout, and that's where other games can come in. Like, there could be something else that you may be interested in learning. Like in my case, I wanted to learn the Zelda games, so I decided to pick that up. And it's like, hey, you know, this is actually something I played as a kid. And then, of course, like years later, I decided to pick up Mega Man Battle Network 2, which is one of my favorite Battle Network games. I also picked it up because I think Ice Blue and I, we were planning to race each other in that. So I took the time to learn the game with them, and, you know, we created notes together. And yeah, I was like working on the notes for that game, and there was like this one line in particular that I just typed up, and I felt so proud of myself. And when Ice looked at it, and they were just like, this is so funny that you wrote this in the guide. Because there's a section where in Mega Man Battle Network 2, you're in the airplane, and I guess Lan either ate too much food, or he might have eaten something that was bad, so he had to use the restroom, right? So on the notes, since you had to like trigger the cutscene for that, I literally put on the notes, use a lavatory to blast a dookie, LOL. And then, like, especially when we did the race together, we did a race together for questing for glory, and I think they blurted it out too, like when that section happened. And like,
that sounds like Ice Blue, honestly.
And they're like, yeah, Supersonic wrote this in the notes that we were making for the guide. And it just kind of worked out.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, yep, that is definitely my contributing factor, just writing about the lavatory in the airplane. Because it actually happens in the game.
Also, I'm glad that we had that story to gloss over the really awful RNG you got with the hands.
Yeah, got every single hand. So I'm like, you know what, we're gonna talk about this because it's actually really funny to go through that during the hand levels. So that was like a perfect segue for that. Also, I gotta blame Hudson Argic for the word segue because they kept on using that for their Crash Bash run the other day. It's like, word of the day is segue.
Chad, have you ever rode a Segway?
I definitely haven't.
I've never. But,
I think I get peace be there, that's okay.
Yeah, like, if you've ever wanted to, like, participate in speedrunning, maybe you give speedrunning a shot and you figure out, well, this doesn't really feel like it's for me. Try volunteering for events, which, by the way, Summer Games Done Quick, 2025. It's going to be live in Minneapolis from July 6th through the 13th. So if you want to volunteer for that event or run at the event, submit your applications or your runs by March 31st. And that's very, very close. That's Monday, I believe. Or you can register to attend the event by May 26th if you just want to attend. Use !SGDQ in Twitch chat or visit GameZoneQuick for more of GameZoneQuick.com. Gotta get the whole .com in there for more information. And chat, if anyone in there is submitting to GameZoneQuick or volunteering, I'd love to know what you're hoping to do at the event or what you're offering to do at the event. Because getting involved in events is a great way to get into speedrunning. And yes, someone's bringing out challenge runs, randomizers, bingo runs. Like, there's so many great ways to gateway your way into speedrunning, and it's not just leaderboard like PB grinding. I promise. Like, one of the ways I got into speedrunning was through speedrunning Pokemon Blue randomizer, and I would do community races with friends. And that was always a really fun time, even if half of us didn't finish because we picked the wrong starter and just could not pivot correctly. That's way back when, oh yeah, GDQ.GG is an abbreviated version of the address, and I forget about that. But if you don't speedrun and love watching, consider maybe volunteering. Maybe you can volunteer and help out at the events, or you could just attend. Hype up everyone. Be the folks in the stream room that, like, you know, cheer on folks at 3 a.m. Yep. We always need those people. Those people are great. They're the real ones out there.
Yeah, I'm honestly looking forward to
SGDQ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm planning on coming to SGDQ. I haven't been to a GDQ since AGDQ 2020. And also, folks, GDQ will be at PAX East. There is a speedrun stage that's going to be happening. I will be there. I will be there as part of the GDQ presence. So if you happen to be at PAX East, which is happening, let me get the exact dates. It's going to be Thursday, May 8th through May 11th. Come stop by the speedrun stage at PAX East. Say hi. So if you've ever wanted to meet your favorite, one of your favorite Hotfix hosts, or like some folks who might be speedrunning at the speedrun stage, the schedule is still pending. Come check us out, and if you ever want to meet me, well, I'll be there and I'll be at SGDQ. I would love to meet viewers. There are names in chat that I've recognized over the last 5 years I've been doing Hotfix. I would love to meet folks who come out every night or every other Friday night and hang out.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I can't wait to see you again, because it's been 5 years, so...
Yeah, it's been 5 years since we last saw each other.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, and especially with the SGDQ dates, it does fall on my birthday this year.
It does.
I'm pretty excited to, be able to spend time with my speedrunning friends for my birthday, so I'm pretty excited for that. And then, since we've been talking about all this and all the segues and such, we're pretty much segueing into Bowser's Castle here.
Yes.
Which is the final level of the game, and I did not quite get the speed there, but we are going to be shooting hopefully 35 fireballs at Bowser and hopefully finish the game here. So here we go.
Good luck. Time's going to be coming up when Bowser ends up off screen, I believe, right?
No, time is actually when I enter the door.
Okay, right. I forgot.
Yep, we'll see what time we end up getting here. I want to say it's at 57, but we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know if you have a timer running on your end.
Time. I don't have a timer running on my end.
If you give me just a minute for stream to catch up, I think it's going to be a very high 56, actually. Or maybe a very low 57. But GG. Excellent work there.
It looks to be probably a low 57 from the looks of things. Kind of see on the...
Oh, yep, no, 57 flat on with 0.4. 57.4.
57.4. So, I'll take it. We like to call that the casual 57. It's like a running meme for SMB3, so I'm pretty glad I was able to get that time.
Yeah, no, that was very, very good for not unfocused, as not game focused as the conversations were, that's a very good time. Thank you so much for doing this run and hanging out and being a great conversation power. And yes, you can defeat Bowser with a fireball. You could even one-shot him or three-shot him, I don't remember, with the Hammer Brother suit, and that's a funny kill to get.
Yeah, I believe it's a three-shot for that one.
Yeah, I remember adamantly trying over and over and over again to get the Hammer Brother suit as a kid, all the way to Bowser just to be able to defeat him with the hammers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think it takes about 3 hammers to kill Bowser with and that way, and then with the fireballs, it's 35 fireballs you gotta shoot. So I mean, you can't really keep track of it because you're shooting really fast, but it does take 35.
And before we wrap up, I know you have some shout outs to do. I also just want to remind everyone that that tomorrow we have GDQ's International Transgender Day of Visibility celebration hosted by Helix and Quacksilver. It's going to be a weekend highlighting transgender speedrunners happening tomorrow, March 29th and the 30th. And if you want to check out the information on that, use !transvisibility in the Twitch chat. So be sure to tune in to catch that at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. But Supersonic, do you have any shout outs you'd like to make?
Yeah, I mean, especially with the stuff about trans visibility, trans rights are human rights, and there is actually one interesting thing about World 5 in particular. Like, if you look at like the sky section of the world, even the castle, it does look like the trans flag colors. So even
I never noticed that.
Even Mario 3 thinks so too. Like trans rights are human rights. So, but yeah, aside from that, just want to give shout outs to my community at the Shrine of Chaos. Also want to give shout outs to Club 601, the arcade, because we always spend time with each other's communities, so we kind of tie in together with the 3 numpties. And if you want to check out more speedruns that I do, you can follow me at twitch.tv/supersonic_, and yes, I do have an underscore at the end of my name because I couldn't get the name, because there's another Twitch partner out there that has a name that hasn't streamed in like a million years. So yeah, supersonic_ again. And,
it's always one of those.
Yeah. So I generally stream Monday through Friday in the afternoon time, just doing like either speedrunning, sometimes casual content. I have a thing called Casual Wednesday. So anytime like people race marbles on stream and they end up winning, they get to pick a game for Casual Wednesday. And I have like a huge list of it right now. So I'm just trying to get through them every week. And we also do like retro achievements sometimes. And I love wrestling. So we do a thing called Supersonic Smackdown on Fridays sometimes, where I play wrestling games. And then I think that's practically it. And also a huge thank you to Amber for having me on the show. It's always a blast being here, being able to talk to you about various random things, like even if it's not video game related or anything like that. So it's always a fun time to be here. And if anybody that hasn't had a chance to be on Passion Project and would like to submit your ideas, definitely do so. It is a very amazing show to be a part of. So yeah, I think that's all I got to say about that.
Well, thank you so much. And also, tune into his stream, supersonic_ as well, tomorrow morning Pacific time, 11 a.m. Pacific. I actually don't remember. But check that out. Because he's going to be doing a Sonic 8 race. If you saw that here on Passion Project a couple of months ago now, I think, or last month, I don't remember.
Might be last month.
At this stage. We had 8 classic Sonic games back to back to back, and those are actually really, really awesome races between himself, HUD601, and Argic. So definitely go check that out for them as well. Give them a follow. Give all 3 of those folks a follow. They're great. And lastly, thank you all for being here tonight, and please look after yourselves and your loved ones. Drink some water, stretch your legs, eat a snack, take your medicine or your vitamins if you need to, and remember that you are valid and you deserve the best, and the world is a better place with you in it. If you did miss out on the Skyward Sword speedrun special that happened before Passion Project, or you missed out on Passion Project and want to watch or maybe you just want to watch the show again, stay tuned as we replay both shows after this outro, and tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for day 1 of GDQ's Transgender Day of Visibility celebration. Trans rights are human rights, and I'll see y'all on the other side. Bye!